This is a true crime discussions channel. We speculate. This is all just speculation. Because it's true crime, it's for mature audiences only. There will be no children allowed, no exceptions. Everything on this channel falls under fair use. Please remember to like, comment, subscribe, and share. It's free. Hey y'all, happy Saturday. Why? No, stop it. Hold on. I hate that. Stop it. Stop it right now. Stop it. Get some help. All right. Good to see y'all. Thank you for being here this Saturday. I don't know why it's got my email up there, but I suppose that's good. Y'all, I'm ready for fall. I got me some fall fingernails off of Amazon. I think I'm going to do another video because I got this microphone for like $30. I think it was like 30 or 40 bucks, and it's got like the mic stand and everything. It's really cool. It lights up. But I was listening to that video I made, and it like sounds 1,000 times better than before. So I'm really happy with it. And I got a few other things, so I might share that with y'all. Let me say hey to y'all. It's good to see you this Saturday. Thank you for being here, Tom, Westside, Crime Story, Hannah UK, Rachel, Miss Sarah, my love. Good to see you. Southern, Rachel, Vu, good to see you. Blue Jay, good to see you. Mary, good to see you. Hilsandra, good to see you. Julie, good to see you. Lola, good to see you. Hey, Kathleen, good to see you. Thank you for being here. Jenny Jen, good to see you, my love. Thank you for being here. Hannah, my love, all of my loves. UTD Bowls. UTD Bowls. I'm going to call you UT because I probably slaughtered your name. Good to see you. I wish I was in Tennessee right now. Stephanie, good to see you. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it so very much. Kimmy C123, good to see you. Monica, good to see you. Cindy from sunny South Florida, good to see you. Thank you for being here. Parabola, good to see you. Thank you for being here. I'm scrolling. D, good to see you. Snarky Pants, good to see you. Thank you for being here. Mary, good to see you. I don't know if I said you or not. There's quite a few Marys and a few Beckys. And sometimes I feel like I skip people because I'd seen a different Becky or Mary or Rhonda. Rhonda's another one. Good to see you. Thank you for being here. Okay, I think that's about everybody. Abellis, good to see you. You don't hear anything? Try to go out and come back in if you can hear that. I don't know. Allison Crossgrove, good to see you. Kat, good to see you. Oh man, I need to share that. I had that post saved so I could share it with you guys. Mama Angie, good to see you. Curious Christine, good to see you. Oh my God, what's wrong? What's wrong, Curious? Lord have mercy. What's wrong with him, darling? Anders, good to see you. Hold the phone now. We can't be having the worst day of our lives as parents. Hey, Amy, good to see you. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Yeah, I'm curious, Christine, as to what happened. Let me go ahead and get YouTube. Oh, God Almighty, Jesus in heaven above, Lord help us all. Sweet baby Jesus. Advice. I don't know what to say to that. My advice would be get a divorce and a restraining order. And I can tell you that if there's any children involved, it's going to be the person that takes the children and leaves with them or files the ex parte order is the one that's going to keep them. In order to file an ex parte order, there has to be some kind of allegations of abuse. But I would definitely be talking to some court officials and going forward with some paperwork. I'm so sorry that you're going through that. I'm not trying. I wasn't trying to stress you out. I was just trying to give you advice. I mean, I don't know what to say. I'm very, very sorry. Yeah, he needs to take them and get out immediately. And because they're both parents, it's going to be whoever physically has the children would keep the children. And then my advice would be he needs to go forward with court documents, especially what he don't got to sign shit, honestly, unless he wants to. And if he, I would damn sure get a lawyer before he signs anything at all. I hope your babies are okay. And my heart and my thoughts and prayers go out to you. I know it's probably not the best time to be giving advice like that. I don't know. My mind works as like logistical instead of emotional because I had a bad life. But regardless, I'm sorry. Oh, damn. Well, it'll be okay. I mean, it's gonna be okay. He'll be able to bounce back from it. He'll be able to bounce back from it. Bellis, I don't know why you didn't have sound. I was about to delete your comment. Well, he don't need to be. I mean, I get it, but at this point, her feelings is at the back of mind. What needs to be at first of mind is going to be them babies and their feelings and emotions. I get not wanting to make somebody mad, but like at this point, I think it's well past that. Ooh, that's not good. If he can prove that, he'll get custody of the kids. Yeah, I'm sorry, sweetheart. Yep, that's very true. Hey, it's about time. And Crystal, good to see you. Thank y'all for being here. All right. I'm sorry, Christine. Curious Christine, yes. You can email me if you want to. Today, my email is right there on screen. So feel free to reach out if you'd like to. Okay. So today we're going to start with Emmanuel, I think. Before we do that, actually, let's look at Jayden Spicers' funeral because I saw pictures of his funeral and it was just this. It was sad, but it was also very sweet in my opinion. Let me get my Facebook pulled up. I did want to share it with you, and I saw somebody mention Jayden, and you reminded me of it. I need to see if there's any documents on him. There it is. Look. Oh, wow. Look. Oh, my God. My heart. I'm about to cry, y'all. How precious is that? Oh, my God. My eyes are watering. How sweet is that, y'all? Oh, my God. Oh, my God. How precious. Oh, Lord, my heart. Hey, Ava. Hey, Scratch. Good to see you. I wanted to say thank you to the person who gifted me a membership. Well, thank you for saying thank you. Oh, Lord, my heart. How precious. Wow. I mean, there's just no words. That is like one of the sweetest things I believe I've ever seen. Cat, I don't know, but I hope so. I hadn't seen that one. And then here, there he is, precious baby. Poor thing. And then here's photos of his funeral. Look, somebody drew him pictures with the Spider-Man too, and we saw the Spider-Man casket, but I thought it was really cool how they made the Spider-Man heads with the flowers and things like that. And then there's one from far away. Look at all his flowers and everything. Oh, how precious. Yeah, it's sad, but I will, Christine. I will. If you want to reach out to me, I can help you. I'm by no means a lawyer or fit to give legal advice, but I can tell you what I've experienced with things like that to try to help you out. Um, I'm damn sure not going to be probably the best person, but if you want to email me, you can. It Nick Anders because he loves Spider-Man. And it says at the top, the amazing Spider-Man. And then in like the Spider-Man red with the web letters, it says Jayden. Lala said, it looks so beautiful. I'm so glad that people were able to come together and create something so lovely to honor him. Me too. Phew. Curious, Christine. I don't know, baby. I'm sorry. Isn't it precious? I can't believe, like, and this just melts my heart. I wonder how long it stayed up. Y'all can see it's one of them Spider-Man blankets. I think that's just so precious. No, you're fine, Curious. Dandy, good to see you, love. I know. So precious. Hey, Cat. Oh, excuse me. Good to see you. All I need is Jesus. That came out for Jayden's funeral. The line of cars was mile long. Okay, let's see that. So again, there's Jayden. Again, that's what the fire department did, which just is the epitome of amazing. I'm sure there was a better word there. I'm working on my brain functioning. I mean, and you can see in the chapel, it's just so much love everywhere with the flowers and the balloons and all the things. And then there's an up close of some photos of him, some stuff people drew. Like, I'm really glad they included that kind of stuff. I don't know who did that casket, but that's like another one of the sweetest things I've ever seen. I didn't even know you could do that with things like that for children. And I think that's just amazing that somebody took the time to do that. Ava said here in Texas, the firemen do that on bridges over the highway. That's so awesome. So awesome. Okay. Hey, Karen. Trying to fix this where y'all can hear me. Okay. We're looking for funeral procession. Hold on. Let me fix it. So we got the photos. This says Father Jim. I mean, that's concerning. Father Jim Sicko. But okay. This says today in memory of Jayden Spicer, paid off funeral, $20,000 for families who had outstanding balances for whatever reason, plus ensured that Jayden and grandmother who he lived with will both have proper gravestones. I hope that's legit and not some kind of scam thing, but because it makes me concerned where we see these checks here. I really hope that's legit. I haven't personally looked into it. If it is legit, I think that is an absolutely amazing and sweet thing to do, and God bless their souls. Okay, let's see.
And for days, the community and family hoped for a safe return. But nearly a week later, Jayden was found dead, and now his own mother is being charged with his murder. Today, the community is coming together to celebrate his life and say goodbye.
Awful. This is awful. The baby didn't deserve, the family didn't deserve this. The one that gave him life is the one that took it.
Red and blue, Jayden's favorite colors, lit up a dark day in Jackson with balloons and lights from first responders from across Kentucky, leading Jayden to his final resting place at Mullen Cemetery. He was buried next to his grandmother in his Spider-Man-themed casket.
It's the respect for him. Everything is about a kid.
You're fine.
You know, it's not about us that we drove. This is about his final ride.
Since Jayden's body was discovered on August 12th, the Breathitt County community has been grieving together, both those who knew him and those who didn't. Josh.
That's so sweet how the community came together to honor him. Southern said, a friend of my 7-year-old grandson passed away last week with cancer. His casket rode on the fire truck. Every fire department in a 50-mile radius was there. I'm sorry that happened to you, but that's absolutely so precious. I'm glad they take time to do stuff like that. Curious, it's okay, baby. Try to calm down, okay? You're fine, but try to calm down, okay? Right, Tom? I agree.
Miller, a member of the search team to find Jayden, said the loss of a child really hit home with him.
I buried 2 of my own.
Oh my God.
It never gets better. It doesn't get easier. You may think it does, but you'll find yourself doing something and then it just boom hits you.
This isn't going to end today. Today
Rachel.
really begins
Oh.
the journey of grief.
So that was the guy that we just saw that I was like, I read his name, Father Jim Sicko. And he said that he had paid for the funeral. And I said, if that's true, I think that's amazing. It says here on Fox 56 that he did pay for the funeral costs. So like Cindy from sunny South Florida said, evidently it's legit. How amazing is that? What just a blessing.
For not only this family, but the community.
Even after all the lights are turned off and the balloons deflate, this day, Thursday,
Oh my gosh, even down the highway, they hug hearts. What? Gosh. This is amazing.
August 21st, will be a lasting tribute, officially known as Jayden Spicer Day in Breathitt County.
They even made a day for him in that county. August 21st is now forever will be Jayden Spicer Day. Wow. I mean, how amazing is that? The whole community came together to do all of this. Oh my goodness. How precious.
Executive Jeff Noble says it's a day not only to remember Jayden, but a call to hold our loved ones closer. That message is being taken to heart.
You never take anything for granted. I always say make those memories because you just don't know.
In Jackson, Jay Sobardo, Fox 56 News.
Okay, that showed some of it, but not like a long thing of cars. Looks like here's something. Okay, so this one might show some of it. This one's only 44 seconds. Hold on.
Everyone.
Gracious.
He was a baby. He deserved better than this.
We've got from all over Kentucky, Georgetown, Lexington, Paris, Stanton, Wolfe counties, Lee County. Everyone's really come together for this, and that really does show something. All Kentucky will come together for, things that really mean it. And we really do appreciate, all of Breathitt County appreciates every single one that's come out today.
We all feel the same pain that the neighboring counties have, and we just wanted to come and show support for the young child, and we just want to be a part of it.
Oh my goodness.
It's really come together for this, and that really does show something.
Sorry. Okay, let me stop before I cry. Rhonda, I'm so sorry, sweetheart, that happened, and I couldn't imagine. I couldn't imagine, and I'm sorry you went through that, honey. Angela, thank you for liking and sharing. I appreciate that. Whew. Mrs. O, good to see you. Thank you for being here. Oh my goodness. Mary said everyone came to be his mommy and daddy. Oh my goodness. Oh. Lord of mercy. There's another video of just all the cars. I think it's just music. I don't want to make it to where people can't see it. It says funeral procession for Jayden Spicer. Look at that. Oh my goodness. How amazing. There you can see all the cars on the side of the road and stuff. Look at all the police and fire department, just everybody. Different counties. Oh Lord. All right. Let me take a breath. Hey, Stoic. Stoic said, wow, that's so cool and sweet for young Jayden. May he rest in peace and may there be justice for him. So awful, but so glad the community came together with dignity and love for him. Absolutely. Yeah, I know, right, Hannah? Whew. My eyes are watering right now. Gracious. Okay. So we can jump over to talk about what are we talking about today? We could talk about Emmanuel next. I said, what are we talking about today? I know what we're talking about. Got stuff together this morning. All right. So as we know, let me I've got 2 videos that I've got to pull up. What I do, y'all, is I'll grab videos from places and then I will edit them in CapCut and I will upload them to my channel, but it's like not my material, so that I can play it, but they're not public. And when I do that, it won't show up on my page. So, I have to go like a different way to pull it up. So let's start with the arrest. So this is actual footage of the arrest that I added some audio to. I might put this video out. I don't know. I might not get in trouble for doing it. Miss King of Anything and Teresa, good to see you. I know, right? All I need. All right, so here is the arrest video of Emmanuel Haro's parents. FBI, open up! There's Rebecca. That walk of shame. Right there, Jake Haro acting like he's hurt or something. I hope he really is hurting right now, considering what he more than likely did to that baby. Hey, Slow Southern Style, good to see you. Let me back that up. Look at him. I hope you are in pain. That walk of shame. We don't want to get in that car. And then it's like quiet. I added some applause. Yep, the walk of shame. This was put out by Look at all the men in business suits. When you see that happening, you know it ain't good. So that was them actually getting arrested. I want to show y'all something else. We'll go to here. I want to take you guys back to the beginning, right? To her original story, okay? We're going to listen to this real quick.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the news at 10. I'm Cree Winter.
And hi, I'm Courtney Friel, in tonight for Rick Chambers. Now at 10 o'clock, where is baby Emmanuel? Yep. It has been over 48 hours since anyone has seen the 7-month-old who was reported missing by his mother in San Bernardino County.
And tonight, investigators saying they cannot rule out foul play in his disappearance. The boy's mother says that she was attacked Thursday in the parking lot of a Big Five in Yucaipa, and that the attacker took off with her baby.
Now, deputies say there are inconsistencies with her account of what happened. KTLA5's Sarah Welsh joins us live in San Bernardino with the latest on this story. Hi, Sarah.
Now we're going back to the beginning because I wanted to show y'all something. Sarah said she looks like she has 2 black eyes now. So this is a photo of it. Look at her. Looking devious. She could have 2 black eyes. She's got that one, but that could be a bag under her eye. It's possible. Look at that. That's the epitome of evil looking. You know what I think when I see her face?
Ugh. Brother, ugh. What's that? What's that, brother?
What is that? Satan spawn. It does look worse to you guys. Hey, Rogue. Good to see you. Ew. Anders said, I think one can see that was hurt before this happened. I think I can see the one where she was hurt before it happened. I'm trying to make it bigger. It does look worse because the one where she had the black eye, it wouldn't be as prominent because the sun is not shining on that side of her face, and it is kind of prominent. It wouldn't surprise me to learn that they had gotten into another altercation, especially with the stress of lying to the police and the whole entire world and wondering when they're going to knock on your door for what they know they did. She doesn't, does she, Rhonda? Yep, Jake with no shoes. Lola's mom, good to see you. Finally, work is done. Gonna drive home. Was the baby found? Not that I'm aware of, but there was a lot of blood found, evidently, and we're going to talk about that in just a minute. All right, we're going to jump back over here to the first story.
Hey, Clark, good evening. Investigators say when they confronted Rebecca Haro about inconsistencies within her initial statement that she refused to continue any questioning. And tonight, the grandmother has confirmed to us that the couple is no longer cooperating with investigators and has lawyered up just hours after they made that desperate public plea for their son's safe return.
It's just a baby. Just give our son back, please.
Where is 7-month-old Emmanuel? His parents, Jake and Rebecca Haro, say someone kidnapped their baby outside this Big Five in Yucaipa after assaulting Rebecca Haro and knocking her out cold.
Now, I want you to pay attention specifically to the story she tells when she refers to what happened. That's what we're looking at in this moment, specifically.
I was gonna get the diaper and somebody said hola, and I didn't see nothing since. I woke up right here on the floor and I didn't see Emmanuel.
Haro says she was parked in front of the store.
I'm gonna play that one more time, just that part.
Right here on the floor.
Oh, hold on.
Rebecca Haro and knocking her out cold.
I was gonna get the diaper and somebody said hola, and I didn't see nothing since.
Somebody said hola and I didn't see nothing since. Okay. Now I want to show y'all this clip from a movie that just recently, a movie or a series that just recently came out on Netflix. I think it's called Insatiable or something to that effect. Watch this scene right here.
Hello. Hello.
I don't know why it's saying hello because it says hola.
Hello.
Dang it.
No.
I got the wrong one. This scene from this movie, that person comes up and says hola. I got it off TikTok and I must have got the wrong one, but it said hola on my phone when I did it earlier, so I don't know why it's saying hello. This woman dressed in this suit comes up and says hola and then hits her with the taser, and then she falls down. It's the exact same script. And you can tell it's subbed, right? It says hola. Hello. And then the woman falls down. I think that might be where Rebecca got her story or her idea for what to say, because it really irritates me. Like you just, why did the person have to say hola? Why couldn't they have just said hello? Even, I don't like the way she did that. It feels like stereotyping to me, and I just hated that. It really irked my nerves. Hey, Cara, good to see you. Rogue said, I think what she is saying is kind of real, except it was at home and hubby that knocked her out. I do too, especially when she says that she saw white. I bet that's because, we all have a favorite hoodie, right? That's probably his favorite hoodie, considering he's wearing it outside when it was 95 damn degrees that day. I think she did see white, and she did fall on the floor, on the bathroom floor in her room, in her house, I meant. Yeah, the stereotype was just so irritating. Boomer said, I believe the homie made reference to this movie. He did. A lot of people are. Yep. When I'm in California and somebody walks up and says, hola, they're trying to sell you tamales. Amy said, in their news conference, why on earth was Jake wearing a long sleeve hoodie in over 100-degree weather? Right. I think it was 95 that day. We looked it up. But yeah, great question. What's he trying to hide? We can watch the rest of this and talk about it.
I woke up right here on the floor, and I didn't see Emmanuel.
Haro says she was parked in front of the store about to change her son's diaper when someone came up behind and assaulted her. She claims she was struck in the face but wasn't able to get a look at who did it before they took off with her son. But investigators say there are inconsistencies with Haro's initial statement.
I want to go back to that one part where she says, I woke up on the floor and didn't see Emmanuel. I wonder if that's really what happened.
Diaper, and somebody said hola, and I didn't see nothing since.
Now, I think that's part of the movie script.
I woke up right here on the floor, and I didn't see Emmanuel.
Haro's.
I'm wondering if that's what really happened, right? We know that we have Freudian slips. I can't stand the word leakage. It reminds me of the word moist. As I've told you, I prefer Freudian slips. People always have Freudian slips when they're lying, right? So she saw white. She woke up on the floor and she didn't see Emmanuel. If we're going to speculate, let me find my... Well, I don't got a speculation. Okay, that's good enough. If we're going to speculate, maybe she did see white because he punched her in the face. She woke up on the floor and then Emmanuel wasn't there. Maybe something happened. Maybe Jake dropped him or something. She's holding him and like, oh my God, what did you do? What did you do? He punches her in the face, knocks her the fuck out, and then she wakes up and Emmanuel's not there. It's just me speculating. But at the end of the day, I have no sympathy for her. She should have called the police if that's indeed what happened. Connie said, so how are they behind bars? Now they need to talk. Where is the baby? Yep, I've got some information on that too that I got this morning. I didn't see nothing since. Right. And I can understand her stating it like that. Like, I wonder if English was her first language. But hearing the grandmother talk, it seems like it was. Sometimes if English is not your first language, you would say like interchangeably, like, I didn't see nothing since, or I woke up on the floor. Maybe English is not her first language, but I don't know. Blew my nose and ended up with a worse black eye than that. Oh my goodness, Tom. Play the part where she says she checked all and then said checked around the car. I believe it was a slip. I have to see if I can find it. There's several interviews that have come out that I haven't found. Let me play it.
Says she was parked in front of the store about to change her son's diaper when someone came up behind and assaulted her. She claims she was struck in the face but wasn't able to get a look at who did it before they took off with her son. But investigators say there are inconsistencies with Haro's initial statement, and because of that, they cannot rule out foul play.
Hey, Ann.
They're not going to hurt that baby. That couple were just home by.
No, you're
the
good.
baby's grandmother is adamant the couple is innocent. She says Emmanuel is her daughter's pride and joy, and that she waited years to have a baby boy of her own. The grandmother also says investigators asked her daughter to take a lie detector test, but her husband said no until they had a lawyer.
Because her husband knew that she couldn't pass the lie detector test because they were lying. Amy, I'm so sorry that happened to you. I really am. I'm so very sorry, and I'm glad that you're okay now. Hey, Maria. I don't know, maybe she was telling the truth, but it wasn't at the store, but at the house. I agree. I think it was definitely at the house. I hope she does too, but I think it's going to be too little too late. A day short, what is it? Something, a day behind and $1 short.
It's just going crazy, she can't handle it anymore.
She says her daughter is receiving death threats and her 2-year-old has been removed from the home. As the search for baby Emmanuel goes on 48 hours after his mother claims someone ran off with him. And we have learned tonight that the baby's father does have a criminal record. And the grandmother told us that investigators were out at the couple's home in Cabazon, searching the home with cadaver dogs and also digging up parts of the property. We tried to reach out to San Bernardino County investigators for any information on that, but they aren't taking any more questions today.
No, that's where the digging up the property came from, because this is a reputable news source and they're saying that that's what happened, even though allegedly it didn't. So allegedly it did happen. Allegedly it didn't. We kind of don't know at this point. Oh, dang it. Okay, well, we got enough of that. What do we do? Okay, so let me pull up what I pulled off the internet. Also, I wonder what the grandmother is saying now, but she's probably going to tout their innocence because she's still touting the innocence of her son, who committed homicide of his girlfriend, and makes me feel like the family's dysfunctional. You know, it can happen to anybody, honestly, but 2 children in one family, I don't know, it sounds weird. And I've also heard people talk about Jake's sister and the way she came online saying that they didn't do anything, and she was using past tense as well. Sandra said SF Investigates has drone footage. It was not dug up. We looked at that yesterday, some of it, where they were going through the trash. They ripped up bloody floorboards. She can deny it, but they are charged. Yeah, we're going to talk about that too in a minute. I wonder if that grandmother was Jake's mom. If so, I guarantee she'll defend him to the end, and I guarantee she will pay his attorney until she's bankrupt. That's actually Rebecca's mom, because she has the other son, Rebecca's brother, who committed homicide on his wife and tried to say that she did it to herself in the bathtub. He tried to say that she used a firearm and shot herself in the bathtub, but he knocked her unconscious, put her in the bathtub, pulled the shower curtain around him to keep the blood from spattering on him, and shot her. It's crazy. So I was able to pull up this information by going to the Riverside inmate roster, and here you can see Jake Haro's date of birth, February 9th, 1993, and his booking number. And then we have Rebecca Renee Haro, February 3rd of 1984. She's 9 years older than him, and her booking number. That is from SF Investigates. We're going to go look at that in a minute. All right, so here we can see Rebecca Renee Haro, who is a white female that's 41 years old with brown hair, brown eyes, 5'10", 5'1", and 160 pounds, who was arrested on August 22nd of 2025. By the San Bernardino Sheriff's Office, and who lives at Ramona Street in California, is charged with murder with malice. Okay, let's look up the definition of murder with malice in California. Hold on just a minute. All right, let me pull it up. Okay, I asked Uncle Google, what does murder with malice in California mean? And it says, in California, murder with malice refers to the unlawful killing of a human being or fetus with, quote, malice aforethought, unquote, which can be either expressed or implied. Under California Penal Code 187, which again is what the San Bernardino Sheriff's Office put out yesterday in their statement. Let me see if I can pull that up real quick. Yep, I can. So remember yesterday when they announced it, they said that they were arrested right here. This morning, detectives from the Sheriff's Homicide Detail and Specialized Enforcement Division arrested Jake and Rebecca Haro at their residence in Cabazon for PC 187 right there. That means Penal Code 187. Homicide, or Penal Code 187 is homicide. Investigators will continue their search for 7-month-old Emmanuel Haro. Now, if we go back over here again, under California Penal Code, or PC 187, homicide is defined as the unlawful killing of a human being or fetus with malice aforethought. The legal term does not necessarily imply hatred or ill will towards the victim. Rather, it indicates a particular mental state that the law considers especially blameworthy. Malice can be categorized as 1. Express malice. This occurs when there is a deliberate intention to unlawfully take away the life of another person. For example, if someone plans and executes a homicide, this would be considered express malice. So basically premeditated homicide. The second one is implied malice. This applies when a person engages in conduct that demonstrates a conscious disregard for human life, even if there's no specific intent to commit the homicide. An example of implied malice is firing a firearm into a crowded area where the shooter must have known that such an act could likely result in death. So do you guys think it's express malice, which again would be deliberate intention to unlawfully take away the life of another person, or implied malice, which would be demonstrating a conscious disregard for human life? I think it's implied. No, that's what we're talking about right now, baby. Blue Jay, we're talking about Emmanuel. They don't. Stoic said, good grief, man. This case is insanely horrific. The whole damn thing. This happened a few hours south of me. What Jake did to these babies is some of the worst I've heard. Emmanuel needs justice now. I do too. Boomer says, implied malice. I think so. Little bit of Lisa, good to see you. Right. I think it was intentional abuse with accidental death. I think that makes sense, Teresa. All right. So now that we've looked that up, we'll go back over here. Tom is strongly debating this weight being 160 pounds right there. Yeah, I'm about 160 pounds, and she looked heavier set than me. Where's the other one? What? Okay, I'll have to send Jake's real quick. Hold on. I thought I sent it, but I must not have. Let me grab Jake's. I mean, his is going to be exactly the same, but I do have it. I don't know why I thought that it was in that email, or why it wasn't attached to it, because I've got both of them. Okay, now we're going to go up here. We're going to refresh. No, I've got both of them here. Just didn't download both of them. Okay. Let me pull this back up. I'm going to pull it back up. Let me get it. Hold on. Okay. This is Rebecca's again. There's Jake's. So this is Jake Mitchell Haro. He is a Hispanic male. His date of birth is February 9th of 1993. He is 32. He has black hair and brown eyes. His height is 5'10", and he weighs 270 pounds. He was arrested August 22nd of 2025 by the San Bernardino Sheriff's Office on Ramona Avenue in Cabazon, California. Also, they have no bail. They are currently at the Robert Presley Detention Center. We have a case number and the booking time. And they will be going to the Riverside Hall of Justice. They were charged with 187A, felony murder with malice, protective custody. So I think they're both in protective custody. Let me shut this door that my children have opened. Hey, Rob, ringing an old cowbell. Let's have a Sarah. Let's have a Sarah. Two young folks is getting married. I know you're probably singing a song that I probably slaughtered. I think that's cool. If two people are getting married, congratulations. And thank you for being here, Rob. To be frank, my driver's license said 135. To be fair, my driver's license said 135 for 14 years, and I've been closer to 190 for most of that time. That's where she says what I was talking about. Huh. I'm a little lost. All right, hold on. Let me shut this door because I think the kids opened it and it's like really loud. Hold on. Oh my goodness. Okay. Cara said, I think it was a combo of both. They abused that baby, and when they realized they went too far, they got rid of him. Without getting political, they took what's happening with the current state of our country and tried to use it to their advantage, but they failed miserably. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Totally random, but the Delphi case is a docuseries on Disney. I did not know that. I put the link in the comments where she says, look around all the, and then changed it to look around the car. Send it to me through email because only mods can drop links in chat. So send it to me in my email, which is right there at the bottom of the screen. And I'll be able to pull it up that way. Thank you, love. Oh, okay. All right, so I'm going to check. I think she's probably in, yeah. So she's charged again with 1878, felony murder with malice, and she's in protective custody at the Robert Presley Detention Center, housing Unit 7E04. And then their court date is going to be on August 26th at 8 a.m. This was shared by SF Investigates. I'm going to go grab the post, but I think it is like all the times they went out there. Yeah, this is all the calls that they've had to that address. Going back to April 12th of 2020. Nature of call. I wonder if we can look this up. This is U-Death. I wonder what these codes are, or if we could look it up. But, I mean, that's going to be since Emmanuel. All of the, from here down, is all going to be pertaining to Emmanuel. They went out, before that, in 2022, they went out on July 13th, twice on July 13th, March 6th of 2021, December 22nd of 2020, November 16th, twice in 2020, twice on September 12th of 2020. They went out July 20th of 2020, and then again 6 days later, and then March 12th of 2020. We're going to see if we can look up those codes. And then we have this. This is the arrest affidavit for Baby Promise. And I do want to reiterate that she was named that after the cousin took her. The cousin renamed her Promise. Emmanuel was abused before this badly because his eyes and mouth just don't look right. I agree. I think he was. Hey, Native. Jake's brother died at their home in 2021. I did not know that, so that makes sense for the U-Death. Yep. So I guess it was on May 6th of 2021. Wow. Thank you for that. I didn't know that. All right, we're going to go back and read this real quick. I did upload these on my Patreon if anybody's interested. Okay, Kate, thank you. 80 Wood Aprils. I hear Jake's brother died in the house in 2020 from substances or hurting himself, and they just buried someone a week ago that died from the same thing. Her brother is in prison for killing his wife. Yep. All of that is, so the grandmother had a grandson she had just laid to rest because he allegedly overdosed. And then Rebecca's brother did commit the homicide of his wife, according to a court of law. I did not know, though, that Jake's brother had died in the house. And thank you guys for that information. Blue Jay, I'm hoping that he gets justice. So they did get investigated for the death at their house. Edith, good to see you. I don't know if I've said hey to you yet. And thank you for the membership. That was so very sweet and supportive of you. And I really appreciate that. Hold on just a minute while I get my live pulled up and maybe we can see who that went to. Oh, hold on. I got to fix something real quick. Lord, I should have had it together. Get it together, ma'am. Okay. I can't wait to go on camera so y'all can see how animated I am. Angel Rose was gifted a membership from Edith. Angel Rose, if you are here and you are aware you were gifted a membership from Edith, please tell Edith thank you. Thank you so very much, Edith. I will grab the crazy train to pick you up on the way to Speculation Station. Thank you so much, Edith. Thank you. I appreciate that. That was so very sweet of you. Thank you so much. 81 said, yes, they were investigated for the brother. Her brother tried to make his wife look like a suicide. Yes, yep. You are absolutely right. Hope your daughter is doing better. I hope so too. Also, it's being said that Rebecca and Jake had filed multiple workers' comps claims at Walmart. Seems like perhaps some scamming going on as well. Well, actually, since you referenced that, these are all of the workers' comp claims that have been filed, allegedly from SF. No, this one's from JLR, I think. So it said, this is Jake, right? So the injury date happened for this one. It was March 25th of 2014 to November 8th of 2018. And then he had another one on October 1st of 2022. There was one on February 23rd of 2017. This one, December 5th of 2022 through October 7th of 2024. Then they had one on September 29th of 2024 on my daggum birthday. And then November 8th of 2018. So this is just crazy. It looks like a bunch of scamming going on, if I'm giving you my thought on it. Andy, thank you so much for that. That was so very sweet and supportive of you. Thank you so very much. I really appreciate that. How sweet. Thank you, sweetheart. That was so very sweet of you. I really appreciate that. Thank you. Blue Jay said, I heard someone call it O'Hara House because there was blood everywhere in there. Sounds like there was no cleanup. Do you think he used the saw he bought? He was trying to buy a saw allegedly, but wasn't able to. All right, let me get to this arrest affidavit. And then we'll talk about the blood and everything. So this is for Jake Mitchell Haro, and there's the case number. Maybe we can look it up that way sometime. This is declaration in support of arrest warrant. Jake said that on October 12th of 2018, after Vanessa dropped him off at home, he took victim one's temperature and saw that it was 99 to 100 degrees. Jake gave the victim Tylenol and decided to bathe her in the kitchen sink. While holding the victim to let the water rinse off of her, she slipped out of his hands and fell into the sink. Jake said the left side of victim one's chest hit the center divider on the dual basin sink. Jake immediately picked victim up and did not notice any signs of injury. Jake said Vanessa returned home about 40 minutes after she dropped him off. Jake told Vanessa that he dropped the victim on the sink. Jake said he went to bed around 2100 to 2200 hours. I'm not sure that time, but I'm working on it. I set my coffee pot military time so I can learn it for you guys. And I'm not always clueless. Probably 9-10 o'clock at night. Jake was awakened by Vanessa in the early morning hours and told Jake something is wrong with the baby. Vanessa told Jake to feel the victim's back. Jake said he immediately felt something crackle and not right with victim one. He had previously and not right with victim one's back. Jake said the victim was crying, but it was not her normal cry. It was different, but he could not explain how. Oh my God. Yeah, it was different. Of course it was different. She was probably screaming at the top of her lungs because she was in an immeasurable amount of pain. I informed Jake he had previously mentioned that he felt cracking on victim's back. Jake said it was very noticeable. I asked Jake if he felt that crackling when he bathed, put lotion, or changed victim after she fell. He said he did not. Jake and Vanessa are the only adults in the home, and they are the only caretakers of victim. Vanessa told me she would not talk to me without her attorney present and refused to answer my questions. I arrived at the Hemet Valley Hospital and contacted Dr. Elliott. Dr. Elliott stated victim 1 appeared to have multiple healing rib fractures as well as acute fractures. Basically, she had had her ribs broken before and they were in different stages of healing. I was also informed that the victim had been transported to Loma Linda University Medical Center. I responded to Loma Linda Hospital and was informed victim had been intubated and was in critical condition. After several hours and undergoing multiple tests, forensic pediatrician Dr. Daly provided me with an update on victim. The following is a synopsis of injuries found on victim 1. Acute fracture of the posterior left 5th rib. Healing fractures of the posterior lateral left 6th and 7th ribs, as well as the posterior left 10th, 11th, and 12th rib. Healing fractures of the right posterior 6th rib, as well as the posterior 9, 10, 11, and 12th rib. Parietal bone fracture, which is a skull fracture, a brain hemorrhage, significant prevertebral soft tissue swelling of the neck, healing tibia fracture on the right leg. Do you guys think that he shook her, or do you think that he just like threw her in the sink or up against the wall or something? The report said the last time anyone has seen was on August 3rd. We're going to talk about that too. What the fuck? Why have babies if you're going to hurt them? This is terrible. Right, and I've got a big issue. I got a big bone to pick with the DA that let him do all of this to his daughter and then serve 1 day in prison, 6 months work release, which is basically he goes there to sleep at night. He leaves during the day so he could go work at his job at Walmart. And then at night, instead of going to a house, he would go and be booked into jail. Chuck-a-legs, good to see you. Oh my God. Yeah, that's my issue. Why the hell did the DA let him out? If this had been done to a person, this would be attempted homicide. It's attempted first-degree homicide. This is fucking infuriating. Hey, Jamie. He should have got life without parole. Again, this is attempted first-degree murder. Debbie said Jake also started a second GoFundMe for his brother that died in his house. Think they thought people would feel bad for them and start a GoFundMe or something for the baby. I mean, they are scammers. So yeah, let's run that. If something did happen to the baby, they shook the baby or whatever the hell, he did the same shit he probably did to Promise. And then they're like, okay, we got to figure out a way to tell the police. So they wait, they come up with time, they go and ask the Big Five if they've got cameras in the parking lot. They find out they don't. They come up with the elaborate story. It hits the news. They're doing news interviews. They probably did think they would make some money off of it. They're like, hey, what's done is done. Why don't we make some money off of it? Allegedly speculating. Tom said her losing her vision and the brain damage could be from shaking. Absolutely. Kieran, good to see you. We need an Emmanuel law to prevent this from happening. Amen. We really do. Maria, it is. Yeah, that scummy lawyer got him off. Hey, Dainty. The judge needs to step inside first. Well, Mac Daddy agrees. God, this is terrible. Who knows if shaking or throwing the baby, probably showing the same kind of damage, I imagine. I want to know if Emmanuel's going to have the same kind of damage too. I don't know if this was shaking or throwing, but it's awful. And like, I don't know how hard you would have to shake a baby, but she was 10 weeks old. It's not like she was fresh out of the womb. I know it's easy because I was always nervous that I was, you're so nervous with a brand new baby. This baby was 10 weeks old. So how hard would you have had to shake her? And like, was it something he did on a regular basis? Oh, she's crying. Let me shake the shit out of her. Considering that she had ribs that were fractured, that were in different stages of healing and all that. Sharon, good to see you. Do we know who the judge and DA are? We might find out. Yeah, I think it's on the paperwork I have. Thank you, Crystal. The truck in the driveway belongs to a family trust. Imagine that. It's the judge's fault, period, in my opinion. No matter what his lawyer did to help or not help, the judge was the ultimate decision. His lawyer does look like a pimp. Hey, Mr. J, I wonder if the blood they found was from Jake's brother or the baby. I don't know. Hilson House of Crazy. Broken leg would indicate twisting trauma. Thank you. So, I don't even want to think about it. Winged Matchbox, good to see you. No, Emmanuel has not been found. Oh, look, a squirrel. Everybody coming in. Said 10 weeks, still have super malleable bones. It took some work to break them, and society doesn't value kids anymore. We got to make that change. I agree. Okay, continuing with this. Dr. Daly informed me the victim had suffered at least 2 seizures and stated victim's condition could have been fatal if medical attention was not sought. Hold on. Let me read her comment real quick. Queen said, I'm so mad that Jake got a slap on the wrist for that poor baby. If they had done the right thing, we wouldn't be talking about Emmanuel now, right? And he's on probation. How was he even able to keep Emmanuel or his sister? Okay. Dr. Daly informed me victim 1 had suffered at least 2 seizures and stated victim 1's condition could have been fatal if medical attention was not sought. These injuries would have been very painful, caused the child to have difficulty breathing, irritable, and cry. On December 1st of 2018, Loma Linda University Children's Hospital forensic pediatrician Dr. Daly completed the suspected child abuse and neglect examination, or CAN, on victim. In her report, she stated the following opinion, quote, victim had findings of intracranial hemorrhage, brain injury, cervical spine injury, and retinal hemorrhages, accompanied with lethargy, basically being lethargic. I don't know exactly how to enunciate that. And seizures are consistent with acceleration, deceleration forces of the head with traumatic stress on the neck. He shook her. It's shaken baby syndrome. That right there. Acceleration, deceleration forces of the head with traumatic stress on the neck. That's going to be shaking the shit out of her. The skull fracture is consistent with an impact to the head. So he's shaking the shit out of her and hits her head on the wall in the process. Multiple rib fractures are typically caused by a squeezing mechanism of the chest. So he's squeezing the shit out of her, shaking the shit out of her, and she hits her head on the damn wall or something. Yeah, irritable? Right. What judge put this monster back in the home with 2 babies needs charged as well? I agree. Rebecca's being charged with murder with malice, so she absolutely did something to that baby also. I agree with that too. Dang it. Hold on. Let me pull it back up. Okay. Multiple rib fractures are typically caused by a squeezing mechanism of the chest. The healing oblique tibial fracture is likely secondary to a traumatic twisting mechanism, unquote. So he shook the baby, she hit her head, he squeezed her and twisted her. Dr. Daly further stated, quote, the combination of the above findings in a pre-mobile infant in the absence of a plausible history of significant trauma to explain the injuries, think a car accident or something like that. That didn't happen, so there's no other explanation, right? It's indicative of abuse, head trauma, child physical abuse, and nutritional neglect. They also weren't feeding her properly. The history of a short fall onto the kitchen sink does not explain her extensive and severe head trauma or her multiple bilateral rib fractures, unquote. Jake told me he went home after being at the hospital. Jake's sister grabbed his iPad and opened the internet browser. Jake told me the active browser page that opened was a search of how to feed a baby with a broken of how to feed a baby with broken ribs, plural. They knew the baby had several broken ribs. Jake said Vanessa has access to the iPad and has the iCloud account of Vanessa Jake Haro 20 at iCloud.com. A search of the iPad revealed the following Safari search, time-stamped on October 13th, 2018 at 1:19 a.m. Right then, it's probably been a couple of hours since all of that happened, and they're trying to figure out how to feed her. Quote, is it hard? So this is what they searched. Is it hard to feed an infant with fractured ribs? Unquote. This was before the hospital visit. On November 7th of 2018, I spoke to Jake. Jake informed me that he did not use the iPad on October 13th of 2018 at 1 o'clock. Jake also informed me he does not take the iPad to work. I asked Jake if Vanessa called the injuries to victim 1, and Jake stated, quote, at this point, yes, unquote. On June 18th of 2019, Jake voluntarily came in to speak with me. Jake said, quote, if you asked me, do you see her doing this 8 months ago, I would have told you no way. If you ask me now, it had to have been her, unquote. Jake was referring to his wife, Vanessa. Y'all, he's going to roll on Rebecca quicker than a daggum dog chases a rabbit. He's going to roll on her. He's going to roll some more. Jake and Vanessa willfully caused or premeditated victim 1 to suffer unjustifiable physical pain. I request a 273A subsection A PC charges be filed against Jake and Vanessa. Yes, exactly. Jake is the common denominator here. Absolutely. He absolutely is. Okay. We're going to jump back over to YouTube. And I saw, let's see. I have the blood one, but there was another one we were talking about. This one. Let's watch this one real quick. Family hadn't seen missing baby Emmanuel Haro for a month, per a journalist on the Ashley Banfield show.
And there is more news that is still emerging about this case, even at this hour. Here to take us through all of the latest developments, we've got true crime reporter Annie Elise, who hosts the podcast Seriously with Annie Elise. Thank you so much for being with us tonight, Annie. First of all, do you know anything more about exactly what happened when the Haros were arrested today?
Hi, Brian. Good to see you. No, so as far as the information, about 30 minutes ago, it was released that Jake has been charged with murder with malice. In terms of the arrest itself, it's my understanding that law enforcement came out in droves and around 7 a.m. this morning, coming up, approaching the house and booked them and took them into custody around 7:45 a.m. Shortly after that, it was chaotic on the scene. Media was showing up, bystanders were showing up, and that's when they started doing the search of the property. They blocked off the streets, put the crime scene tape up. To your point, they started looking all around the scene. They were dumping out garbage bins, going.
And we saw all of that yesterday. I can bring it back up. Connie said, crazy twist. What if they were arrested from their brother's death and no baby yet? They did not say the charges are for the baby. I thought about that a minute ago, but I think it's for the baby. I do. Because they specifically referenced they're still looking for him, but I mean, I guess they would either way. If they knew she was going to die and wanted to make sure she had food in her stomach before the hospital did death examination, they probably didn't think that. I just watched too much true crime. It's a possibility at this point. I'd love to know why that judge didn't give him harder charges. Quote, what he have to say about being partially responsible in Emmanuel's death. He had all the power in the world over his sentence. I'm pissed at the state of California. This would not have happened had they handled it right when he did this to his first child, his own flesh and blood.
through the trash, searching that shed that was also adjacent to the property. And it's my understanding they also had been removing some floorboards from inside the house that potentially had blood on them.
Oh, that's just terrible, Annie. I'm looking at the video here. We can see they had the SWAT team out there, and there he is being taken out in the handcuffs. Wow. What do you make of where baby Emmanuel is? I mean, obviously.
Going back to blood being on the floorboards, which we're going to watch a video on that in just a second, it makes sense. I got punched in the face. I saw white. And then I woke up on the floor and Emmanuel wasn't there. And then we find out there's blood on the floorboards. He punched her. She was holding the baby. She woke up and Emmanuel wasn't there. I think that's exactly what happened. I think it was a Freudian slip. He had no shoes when arrested. He must have resisted, probably. That's California for you. Nothing that happens out there shocks me. It is crazy. Not all of it, but there's a lot of crazy stuff that happens there, everywhere, really.
We're all holding on to hope, but is there any new information about where he might be?
Unfortunately, at this point, because there has not been a family member who has said they have had eyes on him in the last month now, I think that it can be a very broad search. And Cabazon and the whole area down there, it's desert. It's so much landscape. It's vast. It's so much dirt that he could be anywhere. And if somebody hasn't laid eyes on him in weeks, that gave them much longer of a lead time to dispose of evidence of his body, to drive somewhere far. So I think this may end up being a tough search, although I'm hopeful that they were reckless enough with their digital footprint that they will be able to find him soon.
I think they absolutely were. They didn't seem like the sharpest tools in the shed. Yeah, I'm thinking they can outsmart police. You can't. Don't even try.
It was interesting. Police said that they gathered digital and electronic evidence. Do we have any idea what that is?
They haven't said specifically, but it's my understanding based on the statement they put out and locals who are talking that they looked through their devices, which we also know Jake Haro's attorney said they willingly passed those over, looked through different electronics at the house. I would imagine also looking through potential GPSs in the vehicle.
They didn't willingly pass it over. The police got a search warrant for the phones, and then they gave the police the phones.
So while it hasn't been stated exactly what they found, they did say that some of that digital evidence is what led them to getting the arrest warrant.
And when it comes to the surveillance footage, there are now these reports of Rebecca with a black eye before she reported the baby missing. What does that mean, do you think?
So there's a few different reports that she was seen with this black eye as early as August 3rd. She also attended a family member's funeral not too long ago, to which this is the footage that a lot of people are looking at and dissecting, where it appears she may have had a black eye and covered it up with makeup. But I do think that out of all of the surveillance footage that people are talking about, the most interesting piece of it is the footage that was reportedly captured from the liquor store across from the Big Five. And we know that there was footage because, again, Jake's attorney yesterday spoke out saying they saw the footage, Rebecca and Jake were shown the footage, and when confronted with, okay, well, what was seen, his response was that it corroborates Rebecca's story, that she fell to the ground. But what's interesting is there was no mention of the baby being seen in that footage, no mention of a second person being seen in that footage approaching Rebecca. So because that was announced and released yesterday, I'm curious if that ended up painting them into a corner as well and just being more evidence against them.
Do you think, Annie, that anyone else knew about this? If it's true that they hurt or even killed the baby, do you think there could be anyone else involved?
I think that it would be difficult for other family members not to know what was going on. Because again, if nobody had seen him in weeks, and if the older siblings who reportedly were with him that very day of this kidnapping hoax didn't see him, I would imagine maybe they didn't know the extent of what was going on, and there may have been excuses for his absence. but I would imagine that there was some family intel happening. And not to mention these charges, we're talking murder with malice. That
Yeah, murder with malice is as we mentioned, you can have it's murder with a forethought. I think that somebody knew. I think either the grandmother or the aunt knew, but it's interesting again in the aunt's interview when she uses past tense describing the baby.
isn't something that is accidental or anything that was, a lesser charge, even such as manslaughter. This means that this was intentional or with reckless disregard for human life. It is a very serious murder charge.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our new.
Stop yelling at me. We're going to jump over here to her interview and listen. This is the aunt, I think it's Rebecca's sister, using past tense.
My sister-in-law and my brother, they were at my older nephew's football practice, and he needed a new mouth guard. So instead of taking everybody, my sister-in-law opted to go, and she only took the baby, which is Emmanuel. And when she got there, she realized the baby had went to the bathroom in his diaper. She laid him down in the back. Her back was turned. She was about to change him. She was getting everything prepared. And she felt like a tap on her shoulder. She turned around and all she heard was "Hola." And before she could even see this person, acknowledge this person, whatever the case may be, he slapped her in the face.
The other thing I'm noticing is she keeps looking away and trying to not make eye contact with the camera.
And she ended up blacking out. He knocked her out and she fell to the floor. And next thing you know, as she came to, she woke up. She was looking around for the baby. The baby was gone. She started panicking, screaming, crying. She called the police. She ran into Big 5 to see if they had cameras outside or if anybody had witnessed anything. And nobody apparently didn't see anything. And then there's no cameras outside. We're so baffled because how are there no cameras outside? Like,
there was cameras outside, and I think that's how they got busted. Yes, Rhonda, we're going to look at an interview, I think, with the grandmother, or I just got sent an interview for us to talk about in just a second, but I'll show you the grandmother's interview. Yes. Blue said, oh my gosh, do you think that he wasn't alive in some of his pictures? That's what people are saying. We're going to look at a couple of them in a minute. Miss King said the common denominator is children are not being protected all across the country. We have watched about the little boy who lived with his grandmother and was returned to his mother. Why? That was Jayden. Yeah. Why aren't these children being protected across the country?
In cases like this, like, what are people supposed to do? After that, my brother told me that he had realized that his wife wasn't back because by that time it was already 8 o'clock and she had left around 7. And he said that he ended up calling her. My sister-in-law and my brother.
I just said it in there, baby. I can't. Thank you. That's not all of it, but she says I loved him. Let me see if this one's all of it.
And I'm just on here just to tell you guys what transpired. So my sister-in-law and my brother, they were at my older nephew's football practice, and he needed a new mouth guard. So instead of taking everybody, my sister-in-law.
She's holding a baby. I'm going to mute it so I don't get struck, but we've heard all of this. It seems like she's talking slow. I don't know if the other was sped up or not, but she says she opted to go and she only took the baby, which is Emmanuel. And when she got there, she realized the baby had went to the bathroom in his diapers. So as any mom would, right there, trying to make it relatable to any mom, as any mom would, thinking again about Jake with the diaper comment, please feed him, please change him, which is crazy because a lot of, women are judging her for even changing a baby's diaper in the car, which is mind-boggling because if there's no bathroom, you're going to do what you have to do to take care of your child one way or another. She's a great mother, so everything you guys are saying about her. First of all, you don't know her, and show some compassion. Like she just had her son taken from her. And also, back to what I was saying, so she realized that he had went to the bathroom on himself. Of course, he's a baby. And she laid him down in the back. Her back was turned. She was about to change him. She was getting everything prepared, and she felt like a tap on her shoulder. She turned around, and all she heard was "Hola." And before she could even see a person acknowledge this person, whatever the case may be, he socked her in the face. And she ended up blacking out. He knocked her out, and she fell to the floor. Even she's using the term floor. What the crap? Oh my goodness, Miss Scorpio, thank you for the super sticker. That was so very sweet and supportive of you. Thank you so much. Look at the little sunglasses. Isn't that cute? Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. That was so sweet and supportive of you. Thank you. Thank you so much. That was amazing. Thank you. Yeah, of course he's going to go on himself and the diaper. There was a journalist that said you can't change a diaper in a car seat. Not in a car seat, but if she laid him down in the back, he could have. She could have, I meant. Hey, Mark. Thank you. That was so sweet. We have to find a way to come together to protect our babies and our children. Absolutely. Okay. She continues, and the next thing, you know it, she came to, she woke up. She was looking around for the baby. The baby was gone. She started kicking, screaming, crying. She called the police. She ran into Big Five to see if they had cameras outside or if anybody had witnessed anything. And nobody apparently didn't see anything. And then there's no cameras outside there. How are we so baffled because how are there no cameras outside? Like in cases like this, like what are people supposed to do? Start shaking. Sorry. Now she's shaking and breathing. So after that, my brother told me that he had realized his wife wasn't back because by that time it was already 8 and she had left around 7. And he said that he ended up calling her and she picked up the phone and she was hysterical and he couldn't even understand her. So the police had took the phone from her and told my brother what had transpired. And he had his ex-wife there because they had a son together, and his ex-wife and her boyfriend ended up driving my brother to Big Five. And ever since then, we've been looking for Emmanuel. We've been giving out flyers. People came out, prayed for us, prayed for Emmanuel. It's been a very hard time for our family. I haven't slept. My brother hasn't slept. We just want him back. And there is a lot of discussion on whether my nephew is special needs. He is late in development, but as far as we know, the doctors say that he's in great health. He's fine. He just has a lazy eye, and that made him more beautiful than anybody I know because I loved him so. So again, that made past tense him more beautiful than anybody because I loved, again, past tense, him so much. It didn't matter what he looked like. And I know he's going to come back to us. And with your continued prayers and your uplifting us, I know he'll come back. And whoever took him here, I can't even say what you are on this app, but just give him back. While she's holding a baby and referring to him in past tense. Made, not makes. Yep. Probably sparkling jewels. Could you imagine if they believed it? As much scamming as they've done and everything. Probably. It would not surprise me. Hey, Just Irish. Yeah, it doesn't even look like a lazy eye. It's drooped, not lazy. Like the photos over time of him, I mean, it does look like there's a gradual progression of his health over time. If I can pull it up. What is this? Oh, we've looked at that. There's the detention center they're at. Investigators search home of parents accused of killing baby Emmanuel Haro. San Bernardino Sheriff's investigators removed evidence Friday morning at the Cabazon home of 7-month-old Emmanuel Haro, who's been missing for just over a week. Look at that bag there of evidence. A lot of people are saying he looks like he could be deceased there. I don't think so because his hand is clenched shut right here. That one, he doesn't look well, though. I'm trying to find all the photos of him. Here you can see kind of what I'm talking about. Here he looks happy and healthy, right? And this one, he doesn't look like he has that eye issue either, and he's holding his head up. Here he looks worse, and if you want to say he looks even worse here, I mean, you could see the progression over time of how it gets worse. Now, I think he's alive right here because his fist is clenched, but he could have died shortly after. We don't know. Yeah. I don't think he looks deceased there, but he could be sick, maybe. I mean, if we're just speculating, or he could be fine. It seems to progress. I mean, just look at that. I don't know. It seems to progress over time, and that's the only one where he's kind of smiling. We haven't seen any videos. I don't know, Mrs. O. Carrie, Emma's Grammy. Good to see you. I was watching something else. They said all the photos of him and all his clothing were gone from the house. Really? Hey, Abraham. I believe when you pass, muscles relax fully, so he would look very different. Okay, thank you. That's a good point. Yeah. All right, we're going to go over to where they found blood in the house and listen to that one real quick. I thought I had it pulled up and I didn't. Let me pull it up. He looks pale and grayish in the pic he's laying down. He does. Yeah, and then the whole side of his face by the end is drooped. It is Julianne. April thinks it could be a shadow. I don't know. He does look different there, but it could be like just laying on outside, maybe the sunlight. I really don't know. We're just kind of speculating. Lala said it's so sad knowing what the father did to the other baby. It's just heartbreaking. It is. Karen pointed out no pictures sitting up, no pictures crawling, no pictures smiling. We have so many pictures and videos of my nieces and nephews growing up. Most of us do, you know. Hey, Paula, the police said they threw out all his clothes and baby pics. That's what people are saying. I had not heard that. That's really sad if they did. I mean, it just shows they never allegedly, in my opinion, loved him. Southern Cats, thank you for gifting 10 memberships. That was so very sweet and supportive of you, and I really appreciate that so very much. Thank you so very much. I really appreciate that. Those memberships went to Blow Mold OP, Shelby, Steph F, Narcos Clips, Sunpine, Kristen Michelle, Samantha Huff, Tootly Pip, and The Peeper, and Direct Current. If you were gifted a membership from Southern Cats and you are aware you were gifted, please tell Southern Cats thank you. Thank you so much, Southern Cats. I really appreciate that. I'm going to grab the crazy train to pick y'all up on the way to Speculation Station. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Zoom in on his eyes in the photos. There's just not that sweet, happy curiosity that I've seen in others. That poor baby definitely had neurological differences by the end. Yeah. Usually they do look a lot happier. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you. I don't know. And then there's another one. I had it up yesterday, but he just looks scared. Here he looks happy. He doesn't smile. I mean, I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know. I wouldn't be saying this if we didn't have the evidence of what he did to Promise. I don't know what her, I can't remember what her name was before, but she was renamed to Promise. Yeah, especially at that age, they're always laughing. Yeah, I think they were supposed to, or it was alleged they were going to, but they haven't. Maddie's mama, I'm going to type you in chat. All right, we're going to watch this about the blood.
We begin tonight with a grim update out of Southern California. Police thought something didn't add up, and now the parents of a missing 7-month-old baby are under arrest, facing charges of murder. Good evening, everyone. I'm Elizabeth Vargas. Police continue to search for the body of 9-month-old Emmanuel Haro tonight. Sources tell News Nation that police believe the father killed the baby, and they say it happened inside the home. Sources tell us a substantial amount of blood was found on the carpet inside. The baby's mother, Rebecca, first reported Emmanuel missing 8 days ago on August 14th. She said that around 7 p.m. she was changing his diaper.
So if we take that back, they said they believed, again, that the father killed him. So again, I say, Mr. DA, Mr. Judge, where are you at? Where are you at? Letting him go free like you did with some damn work release program, some probation. Where are you at now? After he did what he did to Promise, leaving her with 3% brain function, not ever able to take care of herself ever again. And you just let him go. And now he actually went all the way and actually killed this child. Where are you at? I'd love to hear from you. Smoky Mountain Mermaid, thank you for being here. Good to see you. Oh, Rubber, thank you for being here, love. I hope you're having a good stream over there with the court trials. I've been meaning to come by. I've just been real busy. Now they're saying he was born in November. He would be almost 10 months old by now. Sketchy. I would like to know when he was actually born. Emmanuel was born in December, so he would be almost 8. He would be 8, almost 9 months old. The fact they say he's 7 months old makes me think he's been gone a while. You know, a lot of people said they hadn't seen him in the last month. I think it is the same DA, just Irish. I would think so, yeah. It's going to be the same DA.
Outside her truck in a retail parking lot when a man came up behind her, attacked her, and knocked her out. When she woke up, she said, Emmanuel was gone.
I woke up right here on the floor, and I didn't see Emmanuel. If you know anything, please come and bring my son back. Please, I'm begging you. If anyone knows anything.
Police reportedly found inconsistencies in Rebecca Haro's story almost immediately and confronted her about it. From there, everything went south. Police said Rebecca stopped talking. Investigators searched the parents' home, took their car, and issued warrants for all their phones and electronic devices. Child Protective Services took custody of their 2-year-old child. And Jacob Haro's criminal history quickly came to light.
Yeah, the criminal history that should have kept him from having any children in his care. He's on probation, y'all. Like, and the probation officer didn't think it was important to say, hey, you got another child in your care while you're on probation for doing this horrible thing to your other child. Maybe I should call somebody. Like, I'm mad with all the authoritative figures in their lives. Abraham said, I think the black eye came from the mother defending the kid and the blood came from dismemberment. Usually the injuries that result in a child's death are internal. Very possible, Abraham. Yeah, evidently that's what people have been saying, Smoky Mountain, which I find interesting. I hope law enforcement is on top of that, because finding a birth certificate. Yeah, he should have a birth certificate. Allegedly, he went to the doctor. I would think he did. Yeah, he violated his probation for having a firearm and being a convicted felon in possession of a firearm, and something about substance use, like someone who uses substances in possession of a firearm. But you violated him for that, but nobody thought to check the kids in the house. Like, I'm sorry. If you got me as a probation officer and I know you did that to your other child, you damn right I'm going to be calling CPS. And I'm going to be like, look, you need to go check on them kids. I'm probably going to do it when the baby's about 10 weeks old, just to, you don't want me. I'm going to be a biatch. Paula, good to see you. The fact that the baby with someone at Walmart that had, okay. The fact that he has a baby with someone at Walmart that has brain damage from him. She just never went to police. Going by YouTube, he has 5 kids. How many are normal? Well, I mean, I don't know. I hope they get this figured out and he's actually put in jail this time. What kind of abuse has she witnessed or been abused? She probably has seen a lot and probably been abused a lot, but there's no damn way in hell that you're going to... How did he get 2 women, not just one, but 2, to stand by while he hurt these children? No, you're going to be abusing me. And then I'm still going to be fighting till the death, probably, to protect my child.
He was convicted of child cruelty, a felony over serious injuries to a 10-week-old baby girl back in 2018. In fact, a journalist told our own Ashley Banfield last night that the baby girl was hurt so badly she can no longer see, talk, or walk to this day. Let's bring in our panel of experts now. Kim DeGonia is the former assistant district attorney for Riverside County, California. Bobby Chacon is a former FBI special agent. And
this might not be the one about the blood. I'll have to find it. Blue Jay said there was a report they never took him to the doctor or gotten his baby shots. So allegedly, she didn't take him out of the vehicle at the park because she said he wasn't vaccinated, which doesn't make sense to me. He violated his probation, him doing that to his daughter, and have a gun. He shouldn't be around any kids. He should have been in prison. Exactly. This would not have happened if he had been in prison like he should have been. He has one with the mom that he abused. Patience was with that was born with fetal alcohol syndrome. Yep. And the aunt adopted both of the babies. Yep, she sure did. Oh yeah. His other wife for what happened to Promise and the baby. Well, what happened with Promise as far as the charges. And she had, I think his first son was born with a fetal alcohol syndrome.
Lauren Matthias is a journalist and hosted the Hidden True Crime podcast. Great to have all 3 of you here. Kim, I'd like to start with you. They've not yet found the baby's body, but they have already charged the parents with murder. How much evidence do you need before you can file charges like this?
Hi, Elizabeth. Thanks for having me. In a case like this, the standard is probable cause in order to have both parents arrested for the charges of murder. So it sounds like from what your investigation has uncovered that there seems to be quite enough evidence to charge both with murder.
Bobby, parents are both in custody tonight. They will obviously they're being held separately. They'll probably try and get one of them to flip and confess, likely the mother, correct?
Exactly, Elizabeth. I mean, we've been down this road before. You pick out which one you think you'll have the most success putting pressure on, and that in this case, because of his prior history, I think it would be the mother, and she's obviously,
The father's the one with the prior history.
Right, and the mother would be the one that you would put the pressure on, but it's her child as well. So I think that that's exactly what the strategy at this point is going to be. I'll really go with both of them hard and see if you can get some cooperation.
Lauren, sources tell News Nation not only that there was a lot of blood inside the home, but that all the photos of Emmanuel had been removed from the house. All the baby's clothing had been thrown away. How long do we think this baby might have been dead?
See, and that's really hard for me to get with. Okay, so there's blood found allegedly on the floorboards. Oh yeah, to answer your question, Anders, yes, fecal is poop. I keep thinking fecal probably because of these piece of shit parents here. I don't even want to call them parents. These shit stains that reside on the bottom of the earth here. Jake and Rebecca Haro. Going back to what they just said. Blood on the floorboards could have been, I mean, I'm not trying to upset anybody or be graphic, but from the original injury, or it's going to be from some type of dismemberment. I mean, those are the only options. If it is Emmanuel's blood, it's going to be from some type of horrific injury or dismemberment. And it would depend on how much blood was found. Evidently, it's enough to believe he's deceased. It's enough blood to believe that if it came from a 7-month-old baby, that he would no longer be alive. Why did they remove all the photos? Like, okay, hey Jamie, if it was accidental, if she didn't want to hurt her baby, if he hurt the baby and she didn't want to, or she's abused, etc., why did she remove all the photos and all of his clothes and take everything out? Like, that tells me that they never wanted him. Excuse me, which completely contradicts the grandmother's story, saying that she wanted a baby so bad. She wanted a little boy so bad. Like, I'm wondering if the grandmother's just lying her ass off and saying the complete opposite. Because I question whether they wanted Emmanuel, whether Jake and Rebecca even wanted Emmanuel. Did they see him as hurt or not good enough? Or something to that effect. What was it about him that made them not want him? Because if it was an accident, if you were abused, if the baby was killed during some kind of fight, you're gonna hold on to pictures. You're gonna look at them and cry in private, not take everything out of the house and get rid of it. Lord have mercy, I got an 18-year-old little girl, and y'all, I mean, I probably got every outfit. I've got her first shoes. I've got her first dress. I've got, like, especially the 0 to 3 month clothes, 18-year-old clothes I've got in a bin. And both of my boys, I've got theirs too. That ate about 0 to 6 months. I've got all of their first shoes that they wore. I mean, you took everything and threw it away? She does have adult children, yeah. Why? That would tell me you can't stand to look at him. You despise him. You don't like him. Rebecca's other kids didn't even know about the new kid. See? What? Okay. So please use the word speculating. Even the news people the police haven't confirmed anything. Yeah, I am speculating. I need to make a different banner that says this is speculation, but we are speculating. They probably wanted a baby boy, but not special needs child, because they are awful people, probably. I don't know about that. I'm exactly the same way you are with keepsakes. I have everything as well. But if you had a child that passed away, some people don't want to see any of that stuff. Well, maybe that tells us then why they got rid of it. I would think that they would pack it up, maybe. But maybe, I mean, that's an explanation, so I appreciate it. Oh, Lordy. It's the mailman's child. I hope not. They said mom was super happy because Jake wanted a boy. In my opinion, he has rage issues and lashes out at the babies and kids, probably his wife too. I think so. I don't think he would have been special needs if he hadn't been beaten his whole life. I agree, Kate. Women are easier to control when you have babies with them, in my opinion. Why he kept having babies, typical abuser. That's true. Sometimes they'll do that to quote unquote trap you. Frustrating.
I think that we are suspecting actually quite a long time, according to the true crime podcasting community. They have been speculating when the last time Emmanuel was seen. We're hearing various dates, some even saying as early as August 3rd, but there's no sighting that we have known of the day of this. Now we don't even have to say alleged kidnapping. Well, I guess alleged kidnapping still, but
alleged murder in this case.
Alleged murder now, right? Exactly. Thank you, Elizabeth. And we are seeing this sort of pattern
Good
of
point,
it's
Mr.
been
J.
quite some time since baby Emmanuel has been seen. So who knows when this alleged murder now actually even happened.
Bobby, what do police do? I mean, you have a lot of experience in this. How do they, and we're seeing video right here. This is of Rebecca Haro being taken into custody, handcuffed. She's been officially charged with murder already. What do police do in this case? They still haven't found the body of this baby.
Yeah, and sound like that's the next biggest step. That's where all the resources are going to go into. And now what you're doing is you're looking at cell phone data. You're looking at if you can track their cars or their cell phones in the last few weeks, like we just heard. We don't know how long the baby's been missing. We don't know when the last time the baby's been found. They probably have an idea from talking to friends, neighbors, and relatives on who last saw the baby other than these two parents. And then so they can work from that kind of rough date. And then look at if you can somehow pinpoint the parents' movements, either through their cell phones, through the mileage on their cars, where they got gas, and things like that.
I hope that they can. I hope they find him. Always on empty. Good to see you. Just saw on another channel that Jake's sister stated a few things about Emmanuel and said he was seen by a doctor. Thank you for that. How far away did the cousin live that has custody? I cannot see that she would let this go if she knew it. She probably knows, but I don't know what she could legally do. Yeah, y'all are good. I kept some of my kids. Yeah, we're on the same page. Yep, Lauren. Yeah, it's cool. I think it's like being an endearing I don't know. I like keepsakes and things like that.
Not far from this area. I live about 20 minutes away, and there's a lot of rough terrain in this area. It's also very hot this time of year. It's 115 degrees in my house today.
Lord of mercy.
You'd have to just start looking in a lot of different places, and you have to be ready to go forward if you don't find the body, because there is that chance.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our news.
Stop it. Stop yelling at me. Okay, I wanted to pull up this one where she talks about, this is the one that Kate sent me, where she references something about her car.
I fell on the floor, and I said as I got up, I couldn't find my son.
That picture, he looks kind of happy. Like he looks like he's about to crack a smile. And you can see that one eye is a little bit bigger. But there he looks kind of happy and halfway, not as abused, right?
I couldn't find my son.
There he looks angry or scared or something, but he's younger in that picture than the other one. And that is something I want to point out. We're looking at these pictures and seeing how it gets progressively worse. But this one, I mean, it could be the angle and things that we're looking at, but I can tell that one eye is a lot bigger and he's looking in a different direction. He still looks sad and maybe afraid. He is chubby. He's got those chubby cheeks and the little chubby chin, so maybe he was eating good at this point, but he's still very young there.
7-month-old baby boy was reportedly kidnapped right out of this Big 5 parking lot. This is 7-month-old Emmanuel Haro, one of...
That one, I don't like that picture at all. He looks really afraid, really scared. But he is chunky. He's chubby, so he was getting fed properly. I don't know why he was limping when he came out, but whatever happened, I think he deserves it. Looks like the picture is rotated. He's laying down. Yeah, he's laying down, I think. before several times. Yeah, I'd be angry too if I had them as parents. I know. I've always thought the day she got the black eye, something happened to Emmanuel. And when she talks about being on the floor, I think she's talking about what Jake done to her and the baby. I think so too. I agree. To me, it looks like he was dropped or hit on that left side of his head. Looks kind of caved or flat. Let's see. Maybe. I have to look at
Five
another
children
picture.
in this family from Cabazon reportedly kidnapped last night in
I apologize. I've just taken a drink of my Red Bull. I don't see it on that side, though. But that's a picture that a lot of people are having issue with. I'm going to back it up. I think he said 5 children in Cabazon.
Emmanuel Haro, one of 5 children in this family from Cabazon, reportedly kidnapped last night in Yucaipa. Now, his mom told me that they were here last night at a nearby football stadium in Yucaipa with the other kids playing youth football, and she had to run down here to Big 5 to buy some equipment for her stepson, specifically a mouth guard. When she got here to the parking lot, she says that's when she noticed her 7-month-old's diaper needed to be changed. So she says she got out of her truck, went around to the back, and laid him down on the seat to change his diaper when she was attacked from behind.
I got him out of the car seat and I laid him down and so I could get his diapers ready. And somebody said, "Hola," and that's all I remember. And I saw white. And a hearing sound, I fell on the floor. And I said, as I got up, I couldn't find my son. I checked around my truck. And I ran into Big 5. And I asked the lady if she saw it.
So that's what you were talking about. I checked all the and around my truck. So again, if we're talking about Freudian slips and saying what actually happened, I saw white, I woke up on the floor and I checked all around and I couldn't find baby Emmanuel. And remember, in the news report, they said that Jake is the one that committed the homicide. So if that's true, all of those, everything she's saying could be true. He punched her in the face. That's why she saw white. She fell on the floor and then she woke up and she couldn't find Emmanuel and she was looking all around the house. Yeah, she's the stepmother of the little boy that was playing football that she was going to get the mouth guard for. JDR, good to see you. He was not kidnapped. Many children laying on their back would be kicking their legs all around. Exactly. Yep. Sandra, is it true that I don't know. I don't know. I'd have to find a birth certificate and I haven't seen one yet, but we can check X. She should team up with Amber Heard so they can develop a new kind of theater. That would be horrible. I want to know where the car seat is. Yep. Or was. All right, listen to this again. She says, I checked and then says, I checked around the vehicle.
I couldn't find my son. I checked around my truck.
I checked all like if she paused and said, I checked and then paused and said around the truck, that would make more sense. But she says, I checked and then around the truck. That doesn't make sense. I checked all pause around the truck. That makes sense. But she said, I checked all and then says around the truck. That doesn't make sense. There, he looks very normal. Not that he's abnormal, but like he looks healthy, but his eyes are closed. He's just so gorgeous. So precious. Like, I blocked all that out. But the baby, I just want to pick him up and kiss him. I'm curious about his age, too. I'm going to see what we can find on X. The news slipped that out, that he's 9 months, not 7 months. Really? Did they say that just a second ago? I have to see. Because, oh, yeah, they said that. They did say something about people saying that he could be 9 or 10 months old, and that makes people question how long he's been gone. I think it's been over a month.
And I ran into Big 5, and I asked the lady if she saw a baby or someone with a baby. She said no. It was a happy boy.
Was a happy boy. Past tense.
He smiled.
Whoever took
He smiled. Past tense.
our son,
Please give him back.
The search for this 7-month-old baby boy continues. Police and the family desperate to find out where he is.
Yeah. I hope they're held to account for the fullest extent of the law. Hey, Emmy Joe, his birthday is in December. That's what somebody else said. Let's go to X and see what's over there. Hold on just a minute. Hold on just a minute. Just a minute. All the rooms. Bruce in the room, they said. See what SF put up. I think it's just what I had put up a minute ago. We can look and see what SF says about the case because he's been out there. There is the arrest affidavit. And again, he says, today I obtained the declaration in support of the arrest warrant for Jake Haro related to the horrific violence he inflicted on his then 10-week-old daughter. According to doctors, the baby suffered a total of 11 rib fractures, both healing and acute, a brain hemorrhage, a brain injury, a broken right leg, cervical spine injury, retinal hemorrhages, a skull fracture, and more. A forensic pediatrician noted that the child endured intense pain. The abuse occurred on October 12, 2018. The arrest warrant wasn't signed until 3 years later on October 13th of 2021. After being found guilty, Haro was sentenced to just 180 days in jail. Only one of those days was served behind bars. The remaining 179 were served through a work release program. The child is now permanently disabled, yet Haro served less time in the Riverside County Jail than someone I know who was arrested for public intoxication at Coachella. That says it all right there. Where are you at, DA? Jake and Rebecca Haro committed the homicide of Emmanuel Haro, but the Riverside County District Attorney and the judge enabled them. Yes, let me grab my sound effect for that. 100%.
Boom, 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 bop, bam.
I think I'm going to change that eventually, but yes, absolutely. Where are you at? Riverside County District Attorney and Judge. He said this should haunt them and it should define their legacy. See, here's where I'll just play the short one where they were looking through the trash yesterday. Maybe looking for receipts for places they had went to. Bruce Sabana. She had a lot of broken, fractured. Hold on, I'll read it from here. She had a lot of broken and fractured sentences that makes no sense. If you look at the transcript of her statement, you will see a lot of discrepancies. Yeah. Yep. Hey, always late. I think if the mama was beat at the same time the sweet baby lost his life, mama would have told what happened. I think they're both guilty. I do too. Regardless, I think they're both guilty. I don't have the name UT. You think she was saying that she checked all the rooms and the baby wasn't there? We do. I'll see if I can find him. I don't know if he'll be up here or not, though. And that was when the forensic van was there. All right. And then this was talking about all the calls. I obtained all the calls for service Riverside County Sheriff's Department has been on at the address of Jake and Rebecca Haro since 2020. It's interesting, there was an unattended, which means out of doctor's care, death at the house on May 6th of 2021. That was allegedly the brother. Right here. May 6th of 2021, unattended death, which means outside of the presence of a doctor. Now, allegedly, he overdosed. Then we got the This is from 2 hours ago. It says, for those who would like to help crowdsource the search, I'll be posting areas I've drone mapped. You can use the program's interface to zoom in, pan around, and search for potential clues. The particular area covers about 55 acres just east of the Haro residence. Please keep in mind that this is open desert, and a lot of junk gets dumped out here. Not everything you see is a clue. Most important, do not call the sheriff's department to report findings. If you see something of interest, either comment it in this thread or message me directly. We'll assess it together and determine whether it justifies alerting law enforcement. The sheriff's department is extremely busy. If we overwhelm them with false leads, I'll have to stop sharing these maps. I'll act as a point of contact for anything that may require law enforcement follow-up. You're welcome to post your observations in this thread so you receive credit. But again, please do not contact law enforcement directly. Let's earn their trust by being disciplined and thoughtful with our efforts. Because of what was going on yesterday, I was only able to map this 155-acre area, but I will be out there again in the next day or two and hope to map several hundred more acres per day. Here's the link to the 55-acre area I mapped yesterday. I haven't scanned it yet myself. Use the zoom and navigation tools with the cloud interface. The imagery will sharpen as it renders. I'm going to see if I can do this so we can look at it. Oh, wow. This is interesting. So you can zoom in and look for areas of interest. And it says as it focuses, it will sharpen. Wow. Whoa. Okay, so what have we mapped here? Is this the area behind the house? I wonder if this is the area behind the house. Hold on, let me zoom out and just use the little magnifying glass to zoom in. Yeah, it's clearer that way. What is that? Oh, no, but it's blurry. Y'all. There's a mattress. Looks like 2 mattresses. I'm gonna share this link to y'all. So if y'all want to go and map this, it's on X under SF Investigates. And he's saying that if you guys want to help him look and see if there's anything like disturbed dirt or anything like that in the desert, that you could do that. If you find something, you can post it on his X and talk to him about it. Wow, that's really cool that he did that. I just dropped the link in chat. As long as I remember, I'll post it in the description for anybody watching the replay. What is that? I don't think my computer's going to let it focus correctly because I've got a lot of stuff up. Okay, have a good day, Abellis. You know, Mrs. Ed, that's a good question. Wonder if they use that excuse for her as well. Yeah, I couldn't either. All right, I'm going to check that out later. But if you guys want to check that out, you're more than welcome. We can go see what he had to say about the case, and then we'll talk about Jack and Lilly. So we're at 22:25. I guess I can click on this. Okay. Maybe. Hold on, y'all. There we go. Let's make it big. Go to 2225 right here. Okay.
Following jury selection on Court TV.
Trial. So I want to give you the lay of the land here in Cabazon at the parents' home. It is now a massive crime scene since the parents' arrest early this morning. So we have crime scene tape up here. The sheriff's maintaining the integrity of the scene. They were investigating over at the parents' house earlier today, as they have been for the past several days. We saw several units, including a forensic unit with the sheriff's department, leaving just a few moments ago. Now I want to...
Yep. A lot of people stayed out there for quite a while, too. Mr. J said it's a shame because it's a tiny body, so the wildlife is going to get to it quick and dispose of it fast. I hope they get a confession quick and someone gives up the location. Me as well. Me as well, Mrs. J. What do you look for? Yeah, you usually look for buzzards out there, but that's if you're like there in real life. I would look for disturbed dirt in the area if you're going to look through the map that he made. Yeah, I don't know. I'm thinking he's been out there probably about a month, unfortunately.
Show you. We have reporters, local reporters and national doing their live shots. You have a lot of media from all across the country here, especially Southern California, where this is all taking place. Again, this is between Palm Springs and Los Angeles. It's in the desert community here, tight-knit community. And that's also why on the other end of what I'm calling the crime scene tape is where we're seeing another scene. Let's go over there and I'm going to show you what that scene looks like. So we're about a block away from the house where the parents were arrested earlier today. You can see that there's highway patrol. They're helping with the investigation. Remember, this is taking place right off of the 10 freeway here in Southern California. So on this side of things, only media allowed and investigators where we were standing is all of these onlookers, community members from the desert and nearby communities that are absolutely heartbroken that we still don't have answers as to where this baby is.
I don't know why it just stopped like that. Jamie said that dirt is so hard. It would have been a lot of digging time, like over weeks is my guess, and they hit him at home. Allegedly, they were looking in some like pipes or something yesterday, like a water pipe or something. I heard. I don't know if that's true or not.
What a scene out in California today. Big news. Let's put it up. Early today, the San Bernardino County Sheriff posted this on X. This morning, detectives from the Sheriff's Homicide Detail Specialized Enforcement Division arrested Jake and Rebecca Haro at their residence in Cabazon for PC 187, murder. Investigators will continue their search for 7-month-old Emmanuel Haro. And Matt Johnson joins us live now at the scene of the parents' home. Matt, wow. Let's start first with a busy day, a lot happening, a lot of traction. But is that the house behind you? Has the crime scene tape been lifted and you're able to get a little bit closer now?
Busy day and a dark turn for the story of missing baby Emmanuel, just 7 months old, vanished off the face of the earth and from this area in Cabazon. This was his home. This is where those parents, Rebecca and Jake, were arrested, hauled out in handcuffs in broad daylight earlier today, 1 week after this baby was reported missing. Let's show you that video. Brand new to our newsroom, handed to us by those sheriff's deputies investigating this case still at this hour. Rebecca Haro hauled away in handcuffs, brought past the gates of her home in the desert here in the Coachella Valley in Southern California, walking past that makeshift memorial that other people have put up for her missing baby.
Yeah, other people are doing more than she did for her missing baby. She got rid of all of his photos and all of his clothes. That's a good idea, Crispy, maybe inside the mattress. What? I missed it. Oh, vultures, hawks, typically go after live prey. Vultures lack feathers on their heads because they go for deceased prey and won't get stank in their feathers. I didn't know that. Oh, Kim, thank you so much for the super sticker. I really appreciate that. That was so very sweet and supportive of you, and I really appreciate that so very much. Thank you. Thank you so much. Such a difficult case to cover. You're doing a wonderful job keeping us informed. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for being here. I appreciate y'all. It is a very difficult case. And I hope they find him soon.
Including, flowers and a vigil that's out here. And then her husband also arrested, hauled away in handcuffs, put behind the seat of a squad car there. He is arrested, both facing murder charges at this hour. Deputies do not believe that the 7-month-old baby Emmanuel was abducted from the Big Five Sporting Goods 30 minutes from their home. Investigators telling me that they've issued search warrants, warrants for vehicles on the property, conducted several interviews, taken cell phones into custody. San Bernardino County Sheriff's releasing this statement at Court TV telling me this. It is believed that Emmanuel is deceased and the search to recover his remains is ongoing. Our focus remains on finding the little baby. They are being held tonight, Vinny, in Riverside County Jail. That is about 30 minutes from here. Again, there is 2 agencies in Southern California investigating. We have San Bernardino, who we saw here, boots on the ground earlier. They made the arrest. And then you have Riverside County, where they're being housed tonight. No bail. They have yet to see a judge. And I'm also being told that there's no outstanding suspects and no other arrests, Vinny.
Yeah, we're watching that video now of Jake Haro being put into the back of the vehicle. Big show of force also by the sheriff pulling up. During the day, was there much of a...
That picture right there, people say that he has gotten progressively worse. There's another one too where he's not reaching his hand out or something that everybody has a problem with as well. I can see the issue with his eyes there, but he's chunky. I mean, he looks like a well taken care of baby. There. He appears to be somewhat smiling. Yeah, thank God that he's in a better place now, at least. Hey, Drippy. Yep, Jake didn't have any shoes, and I'm glad. I hope he enjoys every bit of that pain. He deserves that and more for what he's done, and not one but allegedly 2 babies. He is, isn't he, Jamie? Yeah, he looks more like a natural baby there, isn't he? Like, how could you not think of anything but love looking at him like that?
They didn't find anything, or do we know if they found evidence inside? Is that clear at this point? Whether they've charged with murder, so there has to be some evidence that the child is dead. They haven't revealed that?
They have not revealed that, at least not publicly. Remember, they do have to be arraigned next week, the parents of this missing child. What we're told is that they have enough evidence and enough interviews to believe that the baby has died. Now their focus at this hour is recovering that baby's remains, and then it's over into the court system. But I can tell you this much, this community completely heartbroken. I know it well. I worked here in the Coachella Valley. I worked in LA for many, many years, and there has just been dozens and dozens of people visiting the site, and many people in tears. Let's play some of my interviews from earlier today.
I have kids of my own. I couldn't think of myself being a mother letting something like this slide.
Absolutely not. I didn't see the truck. I'll back it up a little bit, see if we can see somebody in it.
County, where they're being housed tonight. No bail. They have yet to see a judge. And I'm also being told that there's no outstanding suspects and no other arrests, Vinny.
Yeah, we're watching that video now of Jake Haro being put into the back of the vehicle. Big show of force also by the sheriff pulling up. During the day, was there much of a... They didn't find anything, or do we know if they found evidence inside? Is that clear at this point? Whether they've charged with murder, so there has to be some evidence that the child is dead. They haven't revealed that?
No.
They have not revealed that, at least not publicly. Remember, they do have to be arraigned next week.
Now, you said to look at the truck. Somebody's at the house. Could that be? Did they forensically search the truck? Is that the truck that allegedly she was in with the baby? Like maybe they forensically searched it and then put it back at the house. I don't know. I've only seen that red vehicle and it doesn't appear to be there.
The parents of this missing child, what we're told is that they have enough evidence and enough interviews to believe that the baby has died. Now their focus at this hour is recovering that baby's remains, and then it's over into the court system. But I guess
Studio Mix is good to see you. Said the landlord's truck. Jake's stepdad owns the land or something. Maybe it's his. That's the family trust truck. Interesting. Yeah, forensics was there with a white truck yesterday. Oh, you think I think the lawyer had like some kind of like Tesla or Audi car or something. Yeah, please hit the thumbs up. Thank you. Donna Smith, good to see you. Their truck is white. Okay, thank you. So yeah, maybe evidently it's the family trust truck. Maybe the stepdad is there or something.
I can tell you this much, this community completely heartbroken. I know it well. I worked here in the Coachella Valley. I worked in LA for many, many years. And there has just been dozens and dozens of people visiting the site and many people in tears. Let's play some of my interviews from earlier today.
I have kids of my own. I couldn't think of myself being a mother letting something like this slide. That's why I'm getting emotional because I will do anything for my kids.
What are you hoping for at this point?
Like I said, probably justice, justice that they find the baby, God willing, they find him alive, and justice that these parents or anybody else who was involved get what they deserve.
Holly Hargis, thank you for being here. Said it's the landlord's truck I saw this morning. That makes sense to me.
Back out here live, and also I want to put the tip line on the screen as I finish my report. We tip 1-800-78-CRIME. If you know anything, please call sheriff's deputies here. All right, this is the makeshift memorial. You have teddy bears, you have balloons, you have signs, all of them almost reading, "Where is baby Emmanuel?" and justice for this baby. And Vinny, I have to show you that it's getting late here at this hour. A lot of answers, and look at the number of people that are still out here in front of the home, not just local news reporters, but just people in the community asking for anyone with information to come forward. Vinny?
Matt Johnson, Court TV crime and justice correspondent, working hard today in the heat in the desert. Thanks so much. Let's bring in private investigator Steve Fisher, who's been on the ground getting some incredible video. He's also a search and rescue pilot and ground searcher. Steve, thanks for joining us tonight, and thanks for sharing your video with us as we speak. People are going to see that video.
So, Southern Cats, it said, in my opinion, that precious baby was in the house that burned. And somebody sent me a picture of that house. I'll pull up real quick before we listen to Steve. There's a picture of what it looks like now. Maybe in the RV or something. I don't know. I do feel like it's related, even though the police have said that at this point it's not related. Maybe that refrigerator or something. I don't know. It's really odd. I don't believe in coincidences. Could it be coincidental? I guess, but I don't believe in coincidences. I don't. Interesting. I think it's related. I do. All right. Let me pull this back up.
What did you see happening out there today as you got that overhead look at when investigators were executing their search warrant and making those arrests?
Yes, so I got there just as they brought them out in handcuffs. I got the drone up, and what I saw was they brought the forensic team in, and they started going through trash actually on the northwest corner of the house, which I've found through through a previous incident at the house, is actually Jake's bedroom. And I could also see through the windows that there was forensic people and detectives in that room as well. So the focus seemed to be on the main house and that bedroom. What we're looking at right there, that seemed to be the focus of it. They were sifting through trash and.
So the focus, he said, seemed to be the main house and the bedroom. That's interesting. Anita said, in my opinion, that fire was a distraction. So what do you think they were distracting from? Do you think that they started the fire so that they could leave and do something else well, I mean, that wouldn't work because the police were all up and down the road. Huh. Okay. Have a good day, Sarah. Thank you for being here. Yeah, he might have been there at one point. If he wasn't there at that point, he might have been there at one point. Has anyone else had the issue with not getting notified? I'm sorry you're not getting notified, Nicole. Sometimes YouTube's crazy. His eye's not open and looks red, and we really don't see the baby standing up like most 7-month-old babies do. They don't just lay flat on their backs. They're trying to sit up and crawling and pulling up. Yeah. The barrel, I've heard that there was blood found and that floorboards were removed, but I don't have confirmation of that. So I would say that it was speculation as of this point. I mean, but the police also aren't going to release that information just yet. Yeah, the fire won't eliminate all the bones.
And there was people inside.
Yeah, Steve, you're an investigator, search, rescue pilot, ground searcher as well. How difficult do you think this is going to be, having taken a look at the lay of the land and just trying to put together a timeline here, because we don't even know when this baby actually went missing?
That's the thing. I mean, I've been 5 days. I really think that this baby's been gone a while. I don't think that I think they just tried to put this plan in motion, last week at the Big Five. But I think it's been a while. This could be another Montgomery or Harmony Montgomery type situation, not a long period of time. But they got a big head start. And this is a very vast, open area. Like the last reporter said, it's in between LA and Palm Springs. And there's a casino there, and that's it. And it is just open land as far as you can see, and so it's gonna make it really difficult. Only thing that might help here is that they arrested both of them, and I think that somebody's gonna want to flip on the other, and Jake has a history of doing that. In the 2018 case, I picked up the declaration in support of the arrest warrants for that case today, and he just he tries to sell out, the mother on that case. So we could see.
So I think he's definitely going to do it with Rebecca as well. I do. If she's involved, if she's not involved, she better get to running them damn jaws.
Some of that, and that maybe we'll find out, where Emmanuel is through them, playing off each other.
Bit, yes.
Yeah, I agree with you, Steve. And what you're saying is that there's a history with Jake Haro. Last time he was accused of, and ended up getting convicted of, abusing a baby. He rolled over on the mother in that case, and now here's another mom, another dad. Obviously, they're going to have different lawyers. They have different interests. But if prosecutors or investigators are correct here that they are responsible, both of them know. Both of them know what happened. And the first one to tell is the one that's going to get the deal. And I think that may be the only way they find this baby.
Yep.
I agree 100%. And I think they're letting them know one person's going to get the deal, and that's why I think we could get something pretty quick here.
How about the grandmother? How about the grandmother, Steve? Because the grandmother is connected to this family. She might have some information.
That is a very good point. And I personally, I don't have any proof. I personally believe that she has got really important information. She came out strong in defense of them, but I listen, there's other, if you pull the backgrounds on these people, there's several family members that are attached to that address. And I don't think they're the only two that live there. So I wouldn't be surprised if somebody else, takes a fall for an accessory or something like that, because I do think that there's other people that know this. In the fact that nobody's reported Emmanuel is gone. When did nobody? I have not heard anybody yet say when they definitively seen this child. Outside of the parent.
Yep.
And that's scary.
Yep. That's scary. And it reminds me of another case that was in California, the Cal City toddlers, those two little boys who disappeared supposedly in December, but were actually murdered in September.
What were they, Classic and Sincere? I know it was Orson, but their names have been changed from Classic and Sincere, I think.
And the parents reported missing in December. So 3 months, they never found those boys.
Oh, really?
That's the challenge here. And I think the interesting part will be if they remain united or if they flip on each other. Steve Fisher, SF Investigates. Check it out, folks. The amazing, amazing video and analysis by Steve on all these cases. Thanks so much, Steve.
Thanks for having me on.
If the grandmother lives there, then she needs to get to talking, because the one who talks walks. I think it's been over a month as well. Yep, like the Harmony Montgomery chase, Orrin and Orson. I think it was Classic and Sincere.
All right, folks, when we come back, Eric Menendez.
Okay, we don't have to watch that. All right, I'll look for that Sky Fox news real quick before we go to Jack and Lilly. No, it's going to take me to a game. Hold on, let me get it on Google. Oh my goodness. I don't know. When I pull up Sky Fox, it just shows me this playing thing. Let's see. They don't have anything here local. I mean, from right now, I don't think. See. Excuse me. I don't know. I don't see anything. I do have information on this that I found interesting. We can jump to that real quick. Hold on. 2:34. Okay, email it to me. While I wait on that, we can go over here. This says San Jose father arrested for death of 5-month-old infant. A father was arrested for the death of his 5-month-old infant in San Jose. The San Jose Police Department announced on Friday. On the afternoon of November 3rd, 2024, police officers were called to an apartment at The Woods, a large apartment complex at 4500 The Woods Drive. The baby boy, who was not conscious or breathing, was rushed from the apartment to Valley Medical Center, police said. Lord have mercy. I don't know why I'm reading so horribly. Doctors at the hospital discovered the baby was suffering from 2 brain bleeds. 6 days later, the infant was pronounced deceased. Homicide detectives launched an investigation, and the father, 27-year-old Julian Morgan Matthias Taylor, was identified as the child abuse suspect. Detectives were notified by Santa Clara County Office of the Medical Examiner last month that the baby's cause of death was multiple traumatic injuries. The manner of the death was ruled a homicide. On Monday, police found Taylor in the city of Palmdale, California, and arrested him. Taylor was transported from Southern California back to San Jose and booked into Santa Clara County Main Jail. Prosecutors charged the father with assault on a child likely to produce great bodily injury, resulting in death, court records show. A coroner determined that the baby had suffered a, quote, severe traumatic brain injury, unquote, and his injuries, quote, were consistent with abusive head trauma, unquote, court records show. Taylor's statements to police about what happened to his son did not match up to his son's injuries. SJPD Detective Christina wrote in a police report. During his interviews with police, Taylor said his fiancée went out shopping and that he was home alone with their infant on November 3rd of 2024. Taylor said he was playing video games, and while he stepped away for a moment to use the bathroom, the baby was injured by falling. Quote, he reported the victim fell off of a small couch while swaddled in a blanket and strapped in a bouncy chair while he left the room to use the bathroom. He found the victim face down on the floor with the bouncy chair on top of him, they wrote in the police report. Sound familiar to anybody? You know what I mean? What the fuck is wrong with people, right? Hey, pen pal. Lord have mercy. All right, let me continue. Quote, Julian Taylor stated he brought the victim to his mother-in-law's house, who is a registered nurse, and believed the victim was fine after checking him, unquote, the officer wrote. After the father and son returned home, Taylor's fiancée also returned home with groceries. Quote, Taylor stated he carried the baby in his car seat along with the groceries up to the apartment. Once upstairs, he noticed the victim was not breathing. He and his fiancée called 911 while he performed CPR, unquote, the detective wrote. How much you want to bet that baby had not been breathing for quite a while? And when his wife got home, he knew she was going to notice something. So then he's like, oh my God, the baby, oh my God. Guillory woman who owned daycare arrested, oh, Lord have mercy, there's another one. It continues. Taylor told the detectives he didn't see any injuries. The fiancée told police she noticed her baby had bruising under his eyes and immediately knew something was wrong. She also said her son was, quote, normal and fine, unquote, when she left their apartment to go shopping. See, this is a woman who's not dealing with the bullshit. The 5-month-old victim's autopsy and medical records showed that he had fractures in different stages of healing. Again, remind you of anybody? And he experienced non-accidental trauma. Quote, I believe the injuries sustained by the baby were intentional acts by suspect Julian Taylor, unquote, the detective wrote. So there you have an example of the same thing damn near happening. And that woman said, nope, you're not going to do this to my child. She told the police the truth. And said, he wasn't like that when I left. He's got bruising under his eyes. This is not normal. Somebody needs to do something. Okay, I don't have it in my email, love, but we can come back to it. Now, I wanted to talk to y'all about the update on Jack and Lilly. Yeah, I mean, but see, these people are the baby's parents. You know, you would think that the baby's dad could watch him for a little while, long enough for you to go to the grocery store. You know what I mean? Yeah, why do so many people have to hurt children? It's insane. Yep, they sure do, and it is very sad. All right, we're going to talk about the newest update in the Jack and Lilly Sullivan case. I was thinking about taking y'all back. This is a 46-minute video. I think I'm going to cut the sections from this as we go from that video to the other video because I want to show you something specific in there. So basically, the Globe got information from court documents on Jack and Lilly Sullivan, and we're going to talk about it. Hey, y'all, we've got a couple of updates, very interesting, in the Jack and Lilly Sullivan case out of Nova Scotia. To talk about those, we're going to jump over here to this article from Global News. It is titled, Nova Scotia, Missing Kids. Court documents provide details on Lilly and Jack Sullivan case. Let's start with this news video.
Nearly 4 months ago, Lily and Jack Sullivan, ages 6 and 4, went missing from their home in Lansdowne Station. In a statement to Global News Thursday, RCMP say intensive investigative work is ongoing in relation to the disappearance of Lily and Jack Sullivan, and tips continue to be received. We now have over 700 and are evaluated and prioritized by a dedicated team of investigators in the Northeast Nova Major Crime Unit with the assistance of agencies from across Canada.
Drippy said, yeah, the update comes out the day after Belinda Gray, bio-paternal grandmother of Jack and Lilly, advises RCMP she is filing for temporary emergency custody of Jack and Lilly to get answers. I know she had pressed for a public inquiry, but I didn't know she was filing for that. I would love to know where you found that. Yeah, and that's a good question. How would they work if they're missing and unsure if they're alive or not? I guess you could, but I don't know. Apparently, you can do it, and she has a lawyer working pro bono. Wow. Okay. STU from Leveling Out had it, but he does traffic report. Okay, thank you, love. I appreciate it. I'll see if I can find it. Maybe we can talk about it tomorrow. Thank you for that. I'm holding out hope that they're found alive, but after reading this article, I have some concerns.
We've had this in the past, different disaster, the West Ridge disaster, and everybody descended on us there, and that's not something we want. But in this case, when two little ones go missing, everybody is really keen on finding those children so they can get them home safe and sound.
I'm really hoping that they are found safe and sound. But again, I don't know what to think at this point. It's been 4 months.
Kent Corbett's family has lived in Pictou County for generations. As Lily and Jack's case dragged on, he knew he had to do something to keep their story at the forefront of the news cycle.
I approached Advocate Printing and said that we wanted a deal on making up some election style signs, and we went from there.
Over the last week, his advocacy group has been fulfilling sign orders, with all proceeds going towards search and rescue and funding more awareness materials.
I thought that was interesting, and I thought that was a really sweet thing for him to do. Okay, thank you, Paula. Heard it from grandmother Belinda. She announced it on YouTube channel yesterday. Thank you for that. Why would you not want people to ascend on your area? Yeah. Anything that can be done to help in this search for Jack and Lily and try to find them would be very much appreciated, I would think.
The children's family members have ordered signs for their yards as well.
That's really heartwarming. The signs say,
Okay,
where
love.
are they? The Sullivan siblings missing since May 2nd, 2025 from their home on Gerlach Road in Lansdowne Station, Nova Scotia. Lily, age 6, last seen in a pink outfit, pink rainbow print rubber boots, and a cream backpack with a strawberry print. Jack, age 4, last seen in a pull-up diaper, black Under Armour jogging pants, and blue dinosaur print rubber boots. Anyone with information on the whereabouts of Lily and Jack is asked to call the Northeast Nova Scotia RCMP Major Crime Unit at 902-896-5060. To remain anonymous, contact Nova Scotia Crime Stoppers toll-free at 1-800-222-TIPS or 8477. Submit a secure web tip at www.crimestoppers.ns.ca or use the P3 Tips app. And at the very bottom, it says, still missing, still loved.
The more
I love that still missing, still loved. I really like that like kind of slogan that you could use when referencing them. I think that's sweet. I like that. Not that they're still missing, but pointing out that they are, if you're putting out a poster like that, they're still missing and they're still loved and we need to find them.
people that are thinking about these kids every day will be the greater chance that we have to be able to bring them home.
Lily and Jack attended Salt Springs Elementary. As the new school year approaches, their school district says, we have school psychologists, counselors, and regional support staff ready to help any students who are finding it challenging to be back on site at the school without the presence of their peers.
When those kids get back in the classroom to their teacher, it's going to be, did anybody find Jack and Lily? Kids that age aren't going to understand that the adults are doing everything they can. I wouldn't want to be that teacher having to explain that.
That's really sad to think about, because over their break for the summer, to know that when they left, Jack and Lily were missing, and then they get back to school and Jack and Lily are still missing. That is something that's going to be very hard to explain to children who don't know any better. My heart goes out to them. Could you imagine, like, you know, your child going to that school and having been friends with Jack or Lily, and, you know, they probably asked their parents about it all summer, and then they go back expecting to see them in the classroom and they're not there? That would be hard for any child. Yeah, they will be so sad. You think of Marlena Childress? I hope she's found one day, UT. I do. 1987's been a while, you know? Just like Michael, the little boy that's missing in Canada from 1991. Yeah, a lot of people have said that the lady says, and we're going to hear it in just a second, she says that it's probably a 10-year-old girl and a 5-year-old boy. But think about driving down the road and seeing two children walking. It would be hard to guess their age. When my daughter was in kindergarten, her kindergarten teacher was killed by her boyfriend on Christmas. That was, oh my God, I couldn't imagine explaining that. Most parents wouldn't be honest, and most will hear they are still missing through school. Yeah, I couldn't imagine. I'm so sorry, Crispy.
But Corbett says the community is still holding on to hope.
They're Pictou County's children now, and people need to know what happened.
Ella MacDonald, Global News, Pictou, Nova Scotia.
I think they're the whole country's children, the whole world's children, and we all want to know what happened. Under the photo or news clip area that we just saw, it reads, Pictou County residents remain desperate for answers in the disappearance of Lily and Jack Sullivan. The RCMP says they are sparing no resource in the search for the missing brother and sister, as Ella MacDonald reports almost 4 months into the investigation. The community is rallying to keep the children in the minds and hearts of Nova Scotians. August 14th of 2025. Now we're going to get into the other updates. The article reads, newly released court documents are revealing previously unreported details of the investigation into the disappearance of the two young children from their home in rural northeastern Nova Scotia more than 3 months ago. I said royal. I said royal Nova Scotia, and that's why it coats in and says rural. I was probably thinking about the Royal Canadian Mounted Police. Included in several documents are the initial impressions by police of polygraphs given to the parents of 6-year-old Lily and 4-year-old Jack Sullivan, and confirmation that investigators found a second piece of a pink blanket they say belonged to Lily in the trash. The information is contained in court applications filed by investigators for permission to conduct searches for phone records, banking records, and video related to the case. Now, why was the blanket that was found up the street in the woods or whatever attached to a tree, I believe? Why was part of that blanket in the trash? Number one. I remember when all of this first happened, Daniel said that they thought it was her blanket, but it wasn't. He, for some reason, at one point, thought that it was not her blanket, or Malaya did. One of them did, okay? And they found it in the tree, so that would make me think that maybe it's a blanket that had been outside for a while that they played with. But now I'm finding out there's a piece in the trash can that's at the end of the driveway. So that would tell me that maybe it was a torn up blanket and a piece of it had been on the floor or something. They picked it up and threw away, which would also tell me it was a well-loved blanket. So, like, which is it? Is it a well-loved blanket that she had with her all the time that was maybe torn up and you threw a piece of it away in the trash can? Or is it one she didn't use very often that you legitimately thought wasn't hers and it's in the tree? But if that was the case, how would part of it be in the house to be thrown in the trash at the end of the driveway? It doesn't make sense to me. Maybe it was placed there. And if there was part of it in the trash can, why was it in the trash can? Like, I don't know. It's weird. It makes me feel like somebody's trying to get rid of evidence or lie about it or something. I didn't like that part. These documents include unproven statements made by police. Those documents were released to the Canadian press and other news outlets. Many of them contain redactions. According to one document, sworn by Corporal Charlene Jordan Curl of the RCMP's Northeast Nova Scotia Major Crime Unit, the children were first reported missing at 10:01 a.m. on May 2nd from their home in rural Lansdowne Station, Nova Scotia, by their mother, Malaya Brooks Murray. San, good to see you. Was the trash blanket the original blanket found? Someone shrugged and tossed it. So the blanket found in the trash was a piece of the blanket that was found in the tree that has now been determined to be Lily's. I think it was in a tree. I don't know. They say it was about a mile up the road, tossed in a tree, I think. You think an animal got it, possibly? Maybe. Yeah, that was interesting. And she wasn't able to take a polygraph. We're going to talk about that. Yeah, I wonder if it was placed there too, or he's lying. Like, either it's a blanket that she uses not very often at all to the point that you wouldn't recognize it, but then why was part of it in the trash? Or it's a very much loved blanket that she uses all the time. And if that's the case, why did you lie when they found it and say it wasn't hers? Oh, yes, I'm going to take them to Arkansas. They're my babies if we go. In this or another article, explains it was used to stuff under a door or stop a draft. It's not in this one. I didn't know that, Drippy. Interesting. Thank you for that. Brooks Murray told the police she believed the two children had wandered away from home, but the exact time she thought they went missing was redacted. Police were on the scene at 10:27 a.m. The document says the last time the children were seen outside their home was on May 1st, when they were captured by video surveillance at a local Dollarama store with Brooks Murray and Daniel Martell, their stepfather. RCMP conducted at least 4 polygraphs during the investigation. The first 2 were on May 12th with the children's parents at the detachment at Bible Hill, Nova Scotia. Martell's polygraph, quote, indicated he was truthful, unquote, as did the test for Brooks Murray that found she was truthful when answering specific questions, although the list of questions is redacted from the document. So basically, both of them passed a polygraph. Kalisa said, I think it could be a red herring. They used it to stuff up drafts, so it could have been just pieces and nothing to do with the kids. Possibly. Yeah, possibly. I just found it weird. I didn't know that they allegedly used it to stop the draft from coming in under the door. Crispy said it's weird that both children would wander away from home like that and somebody would pick up 2 children. It is weird. That's always been weird about this case. I could understand 1, but not 2. I even recall a case where 3 boys were riding their bikes and there was this killer on the road. there was somebody that, anyway, he pulled up behind the boys. He pulled a gun out and he held a gun and said, but told both of them to told all of them to lay in the ditch and only took 1. So I don't know. I've not heard of multiple children being abducted at once. And I think that's why the RCMP, some of the searchers think they could still be in the woods. But then we hear about the update we're going to hear about in just a minute. And I'm like, that sounds sus as fuck. There are like 4 more articles, all cherry picking different stuff that was released by the RCMP. I'm going to look for them. They must have theories if they're redacting times on timeline. I agree. Unidentified investigators' comment included at the end of a section on the results of both of these polygraphs says, quote, "At this point in the investigation, Jack and Lily's disappearance is not believed to be criminal in nature," unquote. So basically, they don't think at that point in time that Malaya or Daniel had anything to do with it. Quote, "I do not have reasonable grounds to believe a criminal offense has occurred. Because Jack and Lily are still missing, polygraph examinations were conducted with the intention of ruling out that possibility," unquote. Martel told the Canadian Press on May 28th that he had passed a polygraph test, but the RCMP declined at the time to confirm or deny his claim.
Yep.
Results from polygraphs, which measure fluctuations within a person's sympathetic nervous system as they answer questions, are not admissible in Canadian courts, but the machines are considered an investigative tool. Meanwhile, on June 10th, the children's step-grandmother, Janie McKenzie, underwent a polygraph examination, but another document notes that her, quote, "physiology was not suitable for analysis and an opinion on the polygraph examination was not rendered," unquote. We're going to stop there. Now, a lot of people have asked in the comment section, what does that mean? Well, people who, number one, like if you're bipolar, I know I'm bipolar, if you have severe anxiety and things like that, you're not supposed to take polygraphs because the results would be tainted just because of your bipolar disorder or your severe anxiety disorder, okay? And we're going to flip over here to this other video I have, and we're going to watch her talk for a second, okay? And get an idea of Miss Janie, okay? Or wandered off.
No, I don't think they're in the woods. We searched this place. Look at all the searchers they had out. They had helicopters out. They had drones out. They had searchers. They went over this place with a fine-tooth comb every day that they were searching. They were here. You know how many times my trailer got searched 3 times.
So here you can see how animated and aggressive she is, okay? And I think it's just her personality. We're going to look at another video clip of her.
And then on Facebook, 7 o'clock, I get up, come over here.
Yeah, she's aggressive.
Chickens.
It would probably be a better term.
My brother, Ron, called me at 8:48 and asked me if I wanted to go to town with him. And I said, no. I said, I'm staying home. I said, I'm going back to bed. Okay, I went and I laid down. Next thing you know, my dog started barking and the kids were out in the yard. Now, if you can see, there's 2 swings where the kids play. My bedroom is right there. I heard the kids. This is where the kids' swings are. This is where they always played.
And so that's,
you see the way she motions and stuff?
That's where I heard them. And I can hear everything in that trailer. If 2 kids get out of a fence, and Jack and Lily are all the time yelling, especially Lily, come on, Jackie, let's go, Jackie, let's go, Jackie.
Do you hear how she's very animated? Not necessarily aggressive, but she's not dramatic either. Maybe exaggerated in tone. Sporadic comes to mind. Things like that. It would make me think that she probably wouldn't be good for a polygraph, because imagine her, being kind of aggressive. We'll play the rest of this clip, but imagine her being like the first clip with the polygraph examiner, like it measures you by basically your blood flow, your heartbeats, your nervous system. And she seems like a kind of jumpy, loud, dramatic kind of person. Do you guys understand what I'm saying?
It's all I hear out here. When the kids get out of the fence and come out through here, I would have heard them yelling, come on, Jackie, let's go, Jackie, let's go. I didn't hear anything. The next thing I heard is I heard Daniel yelling. He was yelling for Jack and Lilly.
Yep.
I didn't get up because I thought he was yelling for Jack and Lilly in the house.
Yep.
So the next thing you know, I came out of the trailer after I heard Daniel, about, I'd say 10 minutes after I heard him, I come out of the trailer. I opened up the door, was standing here. Malaya was standing right here with Meadow on her hip. And I come out and I said, "What's up?"
Anxiety.
She said, "Jack and Lilly are missing." I said, "How long?" She said, "About 20 minutes." I closed the door, got my boots on, came out here.
And Malaya's mega mock. And see, imagine her taking a polygraph and being like, you know, this would even answering the questions.
We searched this place. Look at all the searchers they had out. They had helicopters out. They had drones out. They had searchers. They went over this place with a fine-tooth comb every day that they were searching. They were here.
She's very intense, very animated, hyper, all of the words. That's not going to work well with a polygraph. So I can understand why her results were. We'll go back to the other video, but the results were kind of iffy with her.
You know how many times my trailer got searched 3 times.
She's angry about hers getting searched 3 times, isn't she? So, but I don't think necessarily when they say that her physiology was not suitable for analysis and an opinion on the polygraph examination was not rendered, I again think it's because she's so intense and kind of aggravated with the way people are seeing Daniel and Malaya at this point. The fact that Daniel and Malaya passed the polygraph, obviously they're going to be there. They're going to know firsthand information, unless, you know, Janie did something with them, which I highly doubt. So I think that can tell us definitively that it might not have been, well, I say definitively and then I say might. I speculate it probably was not anybody at the house. You make your own decisions and form your own opinions, but I think that it wasn't anybody at the house. She did lie in her voice messages, though. She said she didn't know what Haley was going on about when she very well knew it was over Daniel's substance use. I didn't know that. But to be fair, I could see somebody lying about substance use, but when it comes to children, maybe not lying. Hey, Becky, I don't know if I said hey to you. She probably angry because they tear your place apart and they don't worry about putting it back together. That's true. Anders said there are rumors circulating that former Superintendent Douglas Carter. You always trip me out with your comments, Anders. All right. Children's biological father, Cody Sullivan, underwent a polygraph on June 12th of 2025 and passed the examination with his answers found to be, quote, truthful, unquote. In July, the Mounties said they were running forensic tests on a pink blanket found during the search of the heavily wooded area near the children's home. Police said at the time that the family had confirmed the blanket belonged to Lilly, but investigators released few details. The newly released court documents shed more light on that part of the investigation, saying 3 family members found the blanket in a tree on Lansdowne Station Road on May 2nd, exactly 1 kilometer from the family home. A photo was shown to the mother and stepfather, who confirmed it was Lily's. Okay, I've got an idea now. They found it about 1 kilometer down the road. Could it be, if it was being used to stop drafts from kind of coming under the door, if I'm just going to speculate or we're going to theorize, could somebody have come into the house, maybe the car that was going there from midnight to 6 o'clock in the morning, maybe they came back, or the kids were standing like at the door with the door open, probably, maybe I'm picturing Lily peeping her head in and out of like the door playing with somebody or something, like she was peeping her head in and out of the parents' door. The parents are asleep. And then he coaxes them outside, grabs the blanket from under the door because it's right there to stop drafts, grabs the children, basically puts the blanket over their mouth to keep them from screaming. And then once he gets them in the car and up the road, they throw the blanket out. You guys think that maybe that could have happened? I don't know. Does it make sense? Not really. Sound crazy? Y'all let me know. The door Daniel put a wrench on top of as an early warning system in case a bear broke through it. Really? Makes sense. The wrench would have fell that was above the door. I mean, that's a good idea if you don't have kids. Like, what if the wrench fell on the kid's head? Oh, Lord. That she carried a piece of it around with her until she was like 14. Oh. Jamie said, I don't think so, only because that's a big risk being that close to the home. Yeah, it would have to be somebody very familiar with the home. It would be a big risk. And would they stay there that long? Right? Like, what if it fell on one of the kids' heads? You'd be going to the hospital. Poor baby. Later, police dispatched a sniffer dog to the area where the blanket was found, but the animal was unable to pick up a scent of Lily or Jack, the documents say. On May 4th, another piece of blanket was seized by police. So if they took the dogs to where the blanket was found and there wasn't a scent down, that would tell me they were probably in a car and the blanket might have been thrown from the car. Crispy, that was crazy. Still possible, yeah. After it was found inside a trash bag at the end. Hold on, I'll back that up a little bit. A sniffer dog to the area where the blanket was found, but the animal was unable to pick up a scent of Lily or Jack, the documents say. On May 4th, another piece of blanket was seized by police after it was found inside a trash bag at the end of the driveway of the children's home, according to police. Police say they confirmed both pieces were part of the same blanket. Among numerous court orders sought by police was one for the Cobiquid Pass, a tolled section of highway in Nova Scotia. Specifically, the RCMP were looking for video records, including closed-circuit footage of all cameras of drivers leaving Nova Scotia between May 1st, 2025 at 2:25 p.m. to May 3rd, 2025 at 3 a.m. One of the documents. So they were looking for people driving through a toll and basically looking to see if they saw the kids in the vehicle. Kalisa said, I still think the kids could have walked to the end of the driveway for the bus and someone saw them and picked them up. Possibly. Well, articles say, too, that Malaya said there was no physical abuse in the home. Malaya said in chats that Daniel's hardest on Jack. Daniel's mouthpiece, Darren, said he spanked Jack. CPS had been called due to bruises. I know that CPS had been called due to bruises. I don't much trust what that Darren person says, honestly, because that's the person that's pushing the narrative that the children could be on the reservation, on the Spicanacte never reservation. And that doesn't make sense to me at all, because you're not going to risk your whole entire tribe to hide Jack and Lily for what? Like, it's not like she couldn't leave without Jack and Lily. Jack and Lily were her kids. They didn't even belong to Daniel. Maybe if it was Meadow that was missing, but not Jack and Lily. That shit don't make sense to me at all. So I threw everything Darren said out with the damn trash when I heard all that. Hey, Canes. It says that on May 3rd, police received a report that Jack and Lily might be with their biological father. Police received a pair of messages about this early on May 3rd, but the report notes that the caller, who was unnamed, did not have any proof and, quote, she just wanted to make sure every possibility is looked into, unquote. According to so police received a report that Jack and Lily might be with their biological father. Like, I think somebody from the public just called and said that, just thinking that the police aren't going to look at him, which makes no sense at all. Of course, the police are going to look at the biological father. Like, what? I don't know. Darren and Daniel no longer friends. About 2 weeks ago, the bromance broke up. Darren no longer believes everything Daniel told him, according to a source who talks to Darren. I don't believe anything Darren says, personally. Request for the Cobiquid Pass Toll Plaza videos. Quote, Malaya later reported to police that she thought Cody Sullivan, Lily and Jack's biological father, might have picked them up and taken them to New Brunswick, unquote. Now, why would Malaya say that? Like, did she really think that he could have picked them up? And what would the reason be? He wanted nothing to do with her or them. Like, would it be so he didn't have to pay child support? Because evidently he was behind on child support because he hadn't worked in the past 9 months. So I wonder why she would think that. Malaya was the one who said it to the police. Cheryl, the psychic friend, said kids were in New Brunswick. Malaya told police she thought Cody took the kids to New Brunswick. Interesting. Thank you for that. In my opinion, Cheryl told Malaya Cody took his kids to New Brunswick. Maybe if she thought a psychic friend, yeah. If she believes very much so in the psychic ability of the friend, yeah, maybe. Police later met with Sullivan on May 22nd. The court document said he told police he had been in a relationship with the mother, but had not seen her nor the children in 3 years. He said he paid child support, contrary to what Brooks Murray had told the police. Quote, he said he did not know what happened to Jack and Lily, unquote, police noted. Quote, he was home on May 2nd and never goes anywhere. He has not been anywhere other than his house recently and has had no contact with Malaya since the children went missing, unquote. The documents say police had received hundreds of tips in the case, including one from a witness who said she was traveling with her sons on the morning of May 2nd and saw 2 children walking along the side of the road. Now, this is really important because this could actually be what happened. Natasha Haywood informed the RCMP on May 31st. She described seeing a young girl holding a young boy's hand. The boy had dirty blonde hair and was wearing shorts, while the girl had darkish hair and pigtails and was wearing a tank top with blue strings. According to police, she said the children were walking toward a Caucasian female of about 50 to 60 years old with a, quote, loose curl, unquote, haircut, who was waiting next to the passenger side of an older model tan or gold sedan with the back door open. The documents say that in early June, police met with the witness near the corner of Gerlach Road and Lansdowne Station Road, where she mentioned having seen the children walking north towards Westville, Nova Scotia, and that the vehicle appeared to be waiting for them. Now, it took a whole entire month for them to meet with this woman who could have this groundbreaking information and give us an idea of where Jack and Lilly Sullivan, what might have happened, and it still took you a whole damn month to get with her? Why? Why did it take 2 weeks to get the trail cam footage? Like, that really pisses me off. That would have been grounds for an Amber Alert if police thought it credible. So I think we all found this surprising. Right. But they didn't even go back out there until June. But they still haven't issued an Amber Alert. I suppose they would have issued one even now that they were last seen with that woman. But they have no way of knowing, because if there's no cameras out there, they're not going to be able to tell if it was indeed Jack and Lily or not. When she later met with police, Haywood said she thought the girl was around 9 or 10 years old and the boy 5 years old, the documents say. Investigators are working to find out if the children were indeed Jack and Lily, the document noted. Quote, none of the tips so far have led to Jack and Lily's location or has any information that has been corroborated by the investigation, unquote, a document notes. Okay, and that's about it for that video, but we're going to jump over here and look at these pictures because I used AI to kind of draw out the scene of what we would be looking at, okay? So this is Jack and Lily, okay? Let me pull that video back up and get that part of the article. Hold on. I shouldn't have closed it out. I should not have closed it out. No, not that one. This one. Okay. So she described a young girl holding a boy's hand. Now, remember, we just saw Janie talking about everywhere they would go, Lily would say, "Come on, Jackie, come on, Jackie, come on, Jackie." So she would probably be holding the young boy's hand. The boy had dirty blonde hair and was wearing shorts, while the girl had darkish hair and pigtails and was wearing a tank top with blue strings. He does have blonde hair, blondish colored hair, and she does have darker hair than him. So that matches. They are not about 9. She's not about 9 or 10, and he is 4. So that would have been a year off. She's 7. This is what AI generated for me. Now, it would be difficult to believe her hair was in pigtails, but if she got up that morning and thought she was going to school and they went down to the end of the driveway, waited for the bus, she got ready for school, she tried to get Jack ready for school, and they're standing at the end of the driveway and they realize the bus isn't coming, so they start walking towards the school, I think the scenario is entirely possible. You wouldn't be able to tell exactly how old they are. I mean, that part doesn't trip me up at all. Like, if you're assuming the girl is obviously older than the boy, it makes sense that she would be holding his hand. The hair color matches. Maybe she put her hair in pigtails that morning. They didn't see what kind of clothes that they had on. You think they'd be quite a bit off on ages? Thank you for actually doing a stream that I can do without crap. I don't know if that's a compliment or not. I'm sorry. I didn't understand what you were saying. Guess they didn't know how to reboot and erase their phones. Makes way more sense than they are hidden in a reservation. Right. Hey, Miss North. RCMP asked for trail camera footage from the afternoon of them going missing instead of days previous on the day of and after. Shoddy work. I heard that later they went back and asked for like a couple of days beforehand. I don't know. Yeah, I'm with Kalisa. A lot of people are terrible with guessing kids' ages. And why would 2 kids be walking down the road and then a woman in a gold-colored sedan is like waiting for them with the back door open? Like that doesn't make any sense at all. Like, what, did the kids get out of the car and start walking away from you? Did you tell the kids to get out of the car? And then they started walking away, and then you're like, wait, come back and get in the car. Like, there's no, either way, like, this woman need to be checked out by CPS or something. Are you telling your kids to get out of the car and walk and shit? I don't know. Drippy said, yeah, and she never reported it until May 31st. So memory might be off from May 2nd. I don't know. Small population, can't picture many kids meeting that description in that area. Right. Exactly. I mean, if they dress themselves, Paula, probably. I think they were taken. If that was them, what about the bio dad's mother? Maybe. I was going to say that, you know, they do look similar, but, and it didn't mention her specifically taking a polygraph. We can go back to the other one. Let me pull up. Hold on. Because she's in here as well. Yeah, right there. Oh, hold on. Let me pull it up for you. 6 and 4, right? But if you're guessing ages, you might would have guessed that the 6-year-old is actually 10, especially with Jack being small for his age, right? Like, if she's bigger than him, then you might think she's a lot older than him because he's small for his age anyway. So she does appear to be 50 to 60 years old with like light curly colored hair. I'd like to know what kind of vehicle she drives, but I really don't think it would be her, but I don't know. I mean, it could be. If she had her hair down, it would be slightly curly. I don't think Belinda would do anything like that either. And I think she thinks the kids are no longer with us and wants answers, but also raining. Yep. Like, I really think that we might be onto something here, because this whole picture doesn't make any sense. Why is a woman waiting for 2 children to get in her vehicle on the side of the road with the back door open? That doesn't make sense, especially 2 small children. Like, what, did you get mad at them and tell them they were going to have to walk home if they're your children? I can't make it make sense. I have a hard time guessing ages as well. I am not good at that. I think a lot of people do. I think this might be what happened. I really do. She could have said, "Oh, I'm going to take you to school. Where are you going? I can take you to school." There's no way that somebody's going to risk the jeopardy and safety and security of a whole entire reservation to hide 2 children that don't even need to be hid because they're Malaya's. The dad didn't want anything to do with it. Was she hiding them from Daniel? They're not biologically his. Like, he has no rights to them. It just doesn't make sense. Makes me mad the RCMP said no kidnapping maybe a few days into the investigation. Right. This wasn't even looked into until June. Then they went to the spot where the lady supposedly saw this and checked for cameras. Oh, okay. Okay. I'm sorry. I misunderstood you. I'm glad that you're a Tennessee fan. I hope they're doing good. But yeah, I like our chat over here. I always try to be respectful and make sure our chat is respectful. We are the speculating family. Thank you for being part of our speculating family. I always try to make sure we're respectful. And thank you for the kind words. That was very sweet of you. Well, not if Lily, Indy said if they were going to school, Jack would have a shirt on. But if Lily dressed him, maybe not, you know? So it's the Vols, Vols. Okay, I'll have to look into them. I'm going to check them out now that you've said that. I don't think Belinda would do anything. She seems like the one normal person. I've also never thought Malaya had anything to do with it either. I could see Daniel snapping and their bio dad the same. Maybe. No, they don't go to school without a shirt on. But if Lily, who is allegedly autistic, or even being damn 6 years old, they might think that he needs to go to school and I don't know. I don't see a child saying you got to have a shirt on. You would think they would, but not necessarily. Or maybe they could have been going to a friend's house, a friend from the bus or something. I don't know. Oh, thank you. Kalisa said Daniel resented those kids. No reason for mom to stage a kidnapping and hide them, creating a national search. Right, exactly. I'm in Nova Scotia. I know this reservation quite well, and I know a lot from it. You can't keep a secret on a reserve. Think small town times 20 with everyone up your business. Right, and it just doesn't make sense to me. Yeah, they don't know any better, right? Exactly. Like, she's not thinking he needs to have a shirt on. This screams that we need to be putting out an Amber Alert. And we need to be finding this gold sedan and questioning the owner of it, at the very least. Yeah, exactly. He could have ended up in her dress or the baby's clothes if Lily got him dressed. Exactly. And if he was indeed small for his age and she thought he was maybe 5, then Lily might have looked like she was 10 years old. You know what I mean? I don't know. I'm real concerned. I'm real upset that the police, it took them this long, or, at least another month to look into this alleged, story of a kidnapping. I'm just real upset about it. Lily was used to taking care of Jack and getting them both ready for school. They walked to the bus stop alone every day. Makes total sense. Yep. And then the fact that the girl's holding the boy's hand when Janie's like, she was always saying, come on, Jackie, come on, Jackie, come on, Jackie. Amber alerts for all missing children from the start, not days later. Yep, exactly. Exactly. It makes me real upset. Real quick before we go, I want to show you a picture that Sarah sent me she was talking about, but we're going to read this article real quick about Travis Decker. They're closing down the National Forest area, Leavenworth campground, to search. And I'm wondering why they're closing down the campground again to search. So this reads, FBI requests closure of Leavenworth area campground as search for Travis Decker continues. And this was August 23rd. This morning it was updated at 11:58 a.m. Pacific time. So it's been updated since we've been live. It says Leavenworth, Washington. Federal authorities have requested a 3-day closure of several campgrounds, trailheads, hiking trails, and Forest Service roads in the Leavenworth area as an intensive search continues for homicide suspect Travis Decker. The areas of Okinawa Wenatchee National Forest will be closed for 3 days beginning Sunday morning at 6 a.m. Authorities say the closures will take place as the search for Decker continues. A Wenatchee man accused of the homicide of his 3 young daughters near the Rock Island campground. Deputies discovered the bodies of Peyton Decker 9, Olivia Decker, Evelyn, every single time I do that, Evelyn Decker 8, and Olivia Decker 5 near the campground in Chelan County on June 2nd. Police say the 3 sisters had left home for a planned visit with their father 3 days earlier. According to the U.S. Forest Service, officials ordered the closures this weekend to allow the FBI to conduct an ongoing investigation. The closures will last until 6 a.m. on Wednesday and will include Forest Service roads in the upper Icicle Road area at the Ida Creek campground. The Ida Creek campground will remain open. The area where the closures will begin is approximately 4 miles east of the site of the homicides. Trailhead closures include Jack Pine, Icicle Gorge Upper Loop, and Icicle Gorge Upper Loop tie trailheads. The 3-day campground closures will include the Rock Island, Black Pine Horse, and Chatter Creek campgrounds. On August 6th, the Washington State Patrol Crime Lab reported, quote, DNA profiles matching Travis Decker were found, unquote, at the crime scene, confirming he is a sole suspect. The U.S. Forest Service announced the, quote, temporary area closure, unquote, on a Forest Service website. And they defined the closures. And it reads, the closure is defined as follows. The closure area boundary begins at the junction of Forest Service Road, Ida Creek Road. The closure will follow the road. It just tells us about the closures. But I wonder why they're closing the campground again. Like, do they think they found that he's deceased in the area? Yeah, it would be crazy if he was still that close and alive. I don't know if they think that he's deceased out there and they haven't found him yet, or if they think he's still alive out there. I'm thinking since they announced it and it's going to happen tomorrow, like it didn't happen immediately, that they might think that he's deceased and he's been deceased out there the whole time and maybe trying to locate his body. I wanted to share with you real quick. This is the picture that Sarah sent me. And it says, just saw a TikTok of Rebecca Haro coming out of a meeting with her lawyer. She now has 2 black eyes. So this is where she was wearing the white button-up shirt. She had been interrogated again, and she does appear to have 2 black eyes there. I don't know if somebody photoshopped it. I don't know if it's the angle of the camera. I don't know what's going on. Yeah, I think they think he's passed. People ignore Amber Alerts, and it's a lot of times kids go missing and they're found at a relative's house or whatever. That's what they're trying to avoid. Leavenworth area is very dense forest. I lived off-grid in Wenatchee National Forest for 10 years. Oh, wow. If he's there, they won't find him before a mountain lion does. Probably not. Yeah, probably thinking he's passed. Janie said, hola, bish, meet me in the street. Kate said, "You're such a great channel. You let everyone state their opinions, even if you don't agree. Not many creators like." Thank you. I've always strived to be a place where we can all talk about our opinions openly, even if we don't agree with each other. Thank you for that. That was a very sweet thing to say. Kalisa said, "Oh, wow. So she was wearing makeup over her eye before and now we can see it? Or maybe he beat her another time." Yeah, those are the only two things that make sense. Either he hit her again, it's photoshopped, actually 3 things, or she was wearing makeup over it the first time. That's interesting. I don't know, guys. I don't know. Well, I'm going to end it here for today. I will not be here tomorrow. But I will be back on Monday. I take Sundays off to take care of things around the house and the farm and all of that. So I hope you guys have a good rest of your weekend. Miss North said, well, she was gone for a few days, wasn't she? I think she was out of the media eye for a few days. Yeah, because they stopped talking. They stopped cooperating with police when police pointed out inconsistencies. Thank you. And she was not seen in public for those days. Yeah. And considering the stress that could have been going on due to Emmanuel being missing and them knowing that there was inconsistencies in her stories and that like hiring the lawyer, not working with the police, it's entirely feasible that he could have gotten angry and they could have gotten in a fight over the stress over them thinking that they're going to find out that they hurt Emmanuel. Oh, thank you. You guys are so sweet. I think Decker self-exited in the woods and no one will find him, in my opinion. It's entirely possible. He seems like the type of person that would, if he did do that, he would make sure nobody could find him so his wife would always be scared. Y'all are so sweet. Thank you, guys. I hope y'all have a good weekend. If nobody has told you, you are enough. You are important. You are special and you are loved. And I will see y'all on Monday. Stay safe out there. Bye.
I gotta tell you, there is something you should